Okay, so let us see what is Azure data engineering. So whereas the Azure data engineering has the following, that is called as the Azure data factory. Okay, is the one branch of we can say Azure data engineering, and the another one is the Azure uh, data bricks. Okay, Azure data bricks. Okay, and those are the, and apart from this we have even the many more things are there in Azure data engineering. So now today we'll start with this, what is basically an Azure data factory is, and what is Azure Databricks. So let me clarify you, all of you, that basically these are not softwares. These are called as what? Services. These are called as what? Service provided by Microsoft, and it is providing its cloud service with a name called Azure. With a name called what? Azure. Like you have that is nothing but the grocery store. Grocery store. The Birla is marketing their grocery store with a name called, what is that? More supermarkets, isn't it? Likewise, the separate service for cloud is provided by the Microsoft with a name called what? Azure. Now, what is this basically? Let us try to understand what is this basically clouds are. Why does this clouds is used? And when we are discussing about the clouds, even let us try to discuss what is an on-premises. What is on-premises and what is a cloud? What is the difference between these two? And why these clouds are used, and what is the the demerits you have in on-premises, and what is the advantages you have on the clouds? So guys, let us go ahead now with the basic I'll just give you an example, guys. Now previously, like suppose I'm just giving you an example, guys. All of you should participate and just let me know. Suppose you're staying in Hyderabad for 6 months. Okay, you're migrated to Hyderabad and you're staying here only for 1 year. Let us assume for 1 year you're staying here. After 1 year you're moving out from Hyderabad. But during the stay in Hyderabad for 1 year, you wanted to that is travel Hyderabad and explore Hyderabad, etc. Whereas that is nothing but you wanted to explore it that is in a four-wheeler, in a four-wheeler. So whereas as you're staying in Hyderabad for only 1 year, uh, is it advised that will you go for a purchasing of a new car? Yes, guys, will you go for purchasing of a new car? Because if
No,
you,
sir.
exactly, no. Why? If you purchase a new car, you have to make some down payment. Okay, and then you have to make the EMI, etc. That is a monthly installment you have to pay. And apart from this, even the maintenance, everything will be on your head. So if as you're staying in Hyderabad and you want a self-driven car, you want a self-driven car. So as you are staying in Hyderabad for only 1 year, so in this you have a car provider or a service provider called Zoom Cars. I think all of you might have heard about the Zoom Cars. What does a Zoom Car does? They provide you the car with petrol, fuel, with car with filled up with what? Petrol, fuel, everything, uh, on hourly basis, on daily basis, and on the monthly basis also. Whereas in this period of time, and this period of time, if at all you're taking that car, if any breakdown happens, the service is the responsibility of the provider. That is a Zoom Cars. Simply what you need to do, you need to make the payment day wise, hour wise, or that is nothing but month wise, in whatever the pattern you purchase it, or whatever the pattern you opt it. So what you're doing, you're using your car, a self-driven car owned by the Zoom Cars, and you're paying a rent, or you can say paying for the service they are providing it to you, isn't it or not? So you are using it for 1 year, and 1 year, after 1 year, as you're leaving Hyderabad, simply what you will do, you will wind up, you will give them the car keys, you will pay the bill, and you will leave from Hyderabad. You will, okay, you will leave from Hyderabad, isn't it or not, guys? Am I right? So whereas this is the easiest concept, you have it. Okay, this is the easiest concept, you have it. Okay, this is the very easiest concept, you have it. Okay, so for what is that, that is the name of saving the cost. So now here it is a hassle free, where you need not pay the rents, or where you need not pay the monthly installments, where you not fill up the car with the fuel, and where you not worry about the maintenance, etc. Everything will be taken care by the Zoom cars, isn't it or not? So whereas what is the Zoom car? Zoom car is providing you the service. It is providing you what is that service for whatever the time you want it, and whatever the service you want. For the 1 hour or 2 hours car, they'll provide you, but they will charge you for 2 hours. Okay, and you want on a daily basis, they will provide you on a daily basis. Likewise, the same concept, let us apply it on the clouds here. Clouds are also what is that? The services. Clouds are nothing but what is that? The services provided by the cloud providers on the daily basis, on the that is nothing but on the hourly basis, daily basis, monthly basis, or yearly basis. That is nothing but we have what is that? The cloud concept is provided. Now let us try to see a very more good example on this. Now guys, we all are habituated of storing the entire data in a mobile phone. We all use mobile phones. Yes guys, am I right? Every one of us are using the mobile phone, the smartphones. Yes, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
every one of us, yes, every one of us is using the smartphones. So whereas we store the data in the mobile phone, but as the days are going on, you are getting everything, you're capturing everything, you're storing in the mobile phone itself. So what you're doing, you require more memory. So for that, mobile phone inbuilt is provided with some memory, some 100 GB, 128 GB, or 256 GB, etc. Beyond that, if you require to store the data, what is that you're using? Tell me now, everyone. Yes, guys.
Sir, SD card.
SD card,
But nowadays, yes, exactly, very good. But nowadays, you buy a mobile phone, even the SD card provision is not providing. Have you observed it?
Yes, sir. Pen drive.
Yeah,
Google Drive.
exactly,
In
very
that
good.
will
That's the
Google Drive.
point. That's the point. That's the point. What you're doing? You're opting out for a Google Drive. So Google is what? The Google is responsible for saving your data, storing your data, and security of your data. If anything goes wrong, if you lose your mobile phone tomorrow, if you store the entire data on the Google Drive, you can retrieve it back just by clicking on the button called synchronize. Everything will be dumped into your mobile phone, isn't it or not? So what you're doing, you're handing over your entire data to the Google. To what is that? Google. And Google is the person who is providing you the service, whereas that is the saving of the data, retrieving of the data, security of your data is the responsibility of Google, isn't it or not? So whereas in the same concept here also, instead of having the data on premises, what is that? On premises, the corporates are preferring to shift their data on the cloud environment, where the saving of the data, the security of your data, and whatever the softwares you require it for the development, everything is the responsibility of the cloud providers. Whereas we have in the market the following leaders of the cloud providers. What is that? The first one is called as what? Azure. Azure is provided by Microsoft.
AWS, Google Cloud.
Yes, exactly. Very good. That is nothing but Google. That is nothing but we have the GCP, Google Cloud Platform. It is from the Google. Okay. And then we have what is that? We have the Amazon.
Sir, Oracle Cloud.
Yes, Amazon. Okay. Amazon is providing what is that? AWS, Amazon Web Services. Likewise, we have the Alibaba. We have the Alibaba. This is a China-based. Even they are providing this. That is nothing but the cloud services. Even SAP
Yeah, Sameer, we are not able to hear you properly. Some noise is coming.
Some noise is coming, Sameer.
Guys, just put it yourself in mute mode.
Keep everybody on mute.
Everyone, just put it in your mute mode. Hello.
You may please mute all. I think that would be better.
Yeah. I'm muting all. Just a minute. Sure. Yeah, I think now it's done. Okay, sorry. Now, guys, I'm clearly audible now. So these are all the Google. That is nothing but the cloud providers we have in the market. That is called as what? Azure, And then we have that is GCP, Amazon, Alibaba, SAP, and Oracle has also come out with their that is cloud service. Whereas, but the market leaders are, what is that? The Azure is the market leader right now, and this particular Azure is the market leader. Azure is the market leader. Whereas, of course, in fact, the GCP, the Google Cloud platform is also coming up right nowadays. But Amazon, it's not so good, but it's doing well. But we can consider that only these three are the market leaders providing the cloud services. Whereas these services by the cloud providers, okay, what they have done, they have divided the services. They have divided the services into three categories. The first one is called as what? EAS. Okay, that is called as what? EAS. And the second service is called as what? PIAS. And the third service is called as, what is that? CIAS. Exactly. What is EAS? EAS stands for what? Infrastructure as a service. Exactly. That is something, but infrastructure as a service, wherein suppose you require the that is storage memory area. You require some that is nothing but some 500 TB data, that is terabyte, guys. TB data you require it. So now to be stored, so that storage will be taken care by the cloud provider. You need not worry here. You require 500 TB. That will be the responsibility of, what is that? Okay, what is that? It's the responsibility of the cloud provider. Either it can be the there is Azure, Google, or Amazon, whatever it may be. Suppose you require the that is nothing but RAM. You require the RAM here. Okay, so you require some RAM of some 8 GB or 10 GB, whatever the more you require it. So that is the responsibility of the, that is nothing but cloud provider. And apart from this, we have the platform as a service. Guys, when you talk about the platform, means what? The platform on which you run the entire thing. That is called as
Like
what? Operating
system.
Exactly, operating system. Suppose you are running out of banking data, guys. You are running out of banking data. If you require the banking data is banking data to be stored, banking data is considered as the very huge data. That is called as a big data. It is called as what? A big data. So we can that is nothing but even the operating system, providing of the operating system will be taken care by the cloud provider. That is nothing but we have the operating systems as, what is it? Suppose you require the mainframes operating system,
Like Linux or Unix.
yes, Linux, Unix, whatever. Even if you require Windows also, that is the responsibility of the cloud provider. That's it. That is something called what? Platform as a service. Whereas the third one is what?
Hi Shamir, I have one doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
We can say like that pass like already it is available. We can use it, right?
No, they will, of course. Service means what? Service means what? You're going to a hotel, you're ordering something. That means whether it is there or not, if it is there in the menu, they will prepare for you, they will cook for you, and they will give it. Well, for that, at that point of time, if they require to go and purchase the meat at from the nearest shop, that is not your worry. That is the worry of the restaurant, isn't it or not? In the same way, you have this one also. Here it is not your worry to worry about whether they have the mainframes or not, whether they have the tie-up with the IBM or not. You need not worry about that. Everything is the responsibility of the cloud provider. And then we have the SaaS. SaaS means what? Software as a service. Yes, software. Suppose you require the software, and for analytics you require, what's that? Power BI. Power BI you require it. Nowadays it's booming a lot. Okay, Power BI, sorry. Power BI you require it. Okay, Power BI required. Suppose you require the Power BI, so you need not worry about this. Okay, suppose you require the MSBI, that is Microsoft BI. You need not worry about this. Everything is the responsibility. Yes, even the Microsoft BI. That means the license, everything. You need not worry about license. That is nothing but the cloud provider. Either it can be the Azure, it can be the GCP, or the Amazon will be responsible for providing you this particular thing. Getting my point? Will be responsible for. Hello. Yes. Yes, guys. So okay. Now, so everything is the responsibility of the cloud provider. Whereas, getting my point, all of you, these are the three services we have it. Okay, that is, these are the three services provided by the cloud providers. Getting my point? Now, guys, before we see all these things, how this is used, what is the uses of it, how exactly this is useful in the industry, etc., etc. And what exactly the Azure Data Factory is, and what is the Azure Databricks, and what is Azure Data Engineering. Let us walk through from the very basic part, guys. Let us walk through from the very basic part. Now I'm starting to the scratch level. So because even okay, a person is not from an IT background wants to join, okay, he should able to understand what exactly the things are. For that, let us start with the word called language. Now tell me, what do you understand by the word called language, guys? Yeah, see, you and me are interacting with each other. So we have around 60 participants are there. So suppose we are interacting with each other. Why we are interacting, guys? To share the knowledge, isn't it or not? To share the knowledge, we are interacting with each other. To share the knowledge, we are interacting with each other. Whereas if at all you wanted to interact with a computer, does the computer understand your English? Yes. Does the computer understand your English? No. The computer can understand only the computer languages. So for that, we use, whenever you want to interact with the computer, yeah, we use the computer languages. Those are called as what? Such as we have the C. Yes, we have what? C, C++, okay, C, C++, etc. Okay, these are all the computer languages. So using these languages, we interact with the computer. Getting my point? Whereas by interacting with the computer, by using these languages, what we do, guys? We develop the packages. What is packages? Packages are nothing but these are called as what? Ready-made applications, which are ready to use, Suppose you wanted to prepare your resume, you wanted to design your CV, guys. What is the format which use in the computer? Yes, Microsoft Word is the format which use it. Suppose you want to put some data, some calculations you want to put it, we choose the format called what? MS Excel, isn't it or not? Whereas suppose you want to give some power presentations, so for that we use what? That is PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint, MS PowerPoint, isn't it or not? Likewise, these are the different packages designed by Microsoft for us for different situations. Suppose you want to use a Microsoft Word. Do you need to know do you need to have the knowledge of C language? Do you need to have the knowledge of C++ language? No, not at all required, because these are called as what? Ready-made applications, or we can also call it as what? End user applications. These are called as what? End user applications. These are called as what? End user applications. So whereas without the knowledge of the computer, anyone can use these applications. That is called as what? Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, whatever it may be. And each one of it is designed for what? Specific situation, to deal the specific thing. Getting my point? Whereas as we know that these packages are designed by using the languages. Languages means what? These are called as what? Technical, isn't it or not, guys? These are called as what? Technical. So hence we can say that all the languages are nothing but called as what? Technical applications. Are called as what, guys? Technical applications. So all the technical applications, getting my point, all the technical applications comes under the, what is that? Languages. Whereas guys, when it comes to this packages, what do you mean package? Package is nothing but what? A ready-made application which is designed for an end user. Suppose we are using a mobile phone. We are using a mobile phone. Mobile phone is what? We are the end users. We don't know how the operating system is designed, how the things are there. Simply we know how to use it. Hence, these are called as what? Functional application. These are called as what? Functional applications. Getting my point? So whereas functional applications means what? Where there is no technicality involved are called as what? Functional applications. Technical applications are those where all the technicality is involved in this. Getting my point? So now the next point, if you combine the technical applications, guys, if you combine the technical applications, and functional applications together, and what is that? Functional applications together, what happens? Tell me, what happens if you combine the technical applications and functional applications together, guys? So what happens here? In this case, it gives rise to what is that? A new application that is called as what? Techno-functional application. It is called as what? Techno-functional, which is the combination of what? Technical and techno-functional. What is that? Techno function applications. Whereas techno function applications is nothing but what is that? Where you have 50% of which will be the technical and 50% of which will be what is that? The functional. Getting my point? These are called as what? Techno functional applications. So whereas under the techno functional applications, we have the following. What are the following concepts we have it? That is nothing but all the ERPs, guys. All the ERPs comes under the techno functional. And the next one, all the database applications comes under the techno functional only. Now guys, so before we move ahead, just I wanted to walk you through what is basically an ERP, then we'll move ahead. Okay, though it is not concerned to our topic, but still I wanted to give you a brief knowledge on that. See, basically ERP is nothing but what? It stands for what? Enterprise Resource Plan. Enterprise Resource Plan. So whereas what do you mean by enterprise resource plan? Enterprise is nothing but, guys, a company and or organization. A company and what is that? Organization is called as what? That is nothing but enterprise. Resource means what? See, this is the class going on, and now you require the resources to run this classroom. What is the resource? The Zoom meeting app, what you're using. This is the resource of the classroom or not? Yes, in fact, this is a resource of the classroom. Whereas apart from this, guys, even what is that? I think computer, that's a laptop, and laptop, everything, and internet connectivity. All these are called as what? The resources of the classroom. In the same way, every organization has its own resources, and these resources are classified into the following categories. Those are called as what? Manpower. And the second one is called as what? Finance. Okay. And the third one is nothing but called as what? Assets. So whereas, guys, plan is nothing but how to plan the available manpower, how to plan the available finance, and how to plan the available assets into a best way to get the maximum profits. That is nothing but how to get the maximum profits or extract the output, maximum output, by utilizing this available resources. That particular solutions is provided by the concept called what? ERP. Whereas on this particular concept called ERP, we have the following domains, such as we have as what? SD. And then we have what? MM, which stands for, SD stands for what? Sales and distribution. MM stands for what? Material management. Then we have PP, stands for what? Production planning. Likewise, we have many domains. And then we have what? FICO. We have FICO, FICO we call it as. That is nothing but what? Finance. Then we have what? HRMS, Human Resources Management System. That means how to manage your employees, how to manage the finance of the company, how to manage the production and planning. That is how to manage or how to plan the material management, how to plan your sales and distribution. These are the various domains. And on these domains, we have the softwares available in the market, such as we say that SAP. We say SAP SD. Actually, SD is the domain of the ERP developed by, what is that? SAP has developed their software on the domain called what? SD. So hence we call it as what? SAP SD, like that. Getting my point? Whereas, guys, let us jump onto this, the database. What exactly? Now we are getting to the main topic. What is a database? Yes, guys, I want some interaction now. Yes, please, one after the other. We have 61 participants here. I want some or the other answer from any. We all are learning. That's, I don't mind that, whatever you say. Okay, guys. Yeah, Chaudhary, Mr. Utsav Chaudhary. Yeah, tell me.
The secondary storage, where we can store the data, and that is not volatile in nature.
Yeah, that's excellent. But that is nothing but you're going somewhat technical. Okay. Anyone? Yeah, Mr. Singh, you want to say something? Yeah.
Sir, database is a collection of rows and columns.
Exactly. Very good. Anyone else?
Database is a data stored in the form of tables, and tables is a collection of rows and columns.
Excellent, excellent, very good. Now, guys,
database using the store positions.
Yes, Mastan. Yes, yes. Thank you for your this thing, guys. Now let us discuss it. Please put it immediately in the mute modes, all of you. Now, guys, let us forget all the things technical. I don't want to discuss anything technicality now. Database, I'm just comparing it, so like a book. It's a book, that's it. Database is a book, guys. Okay, Whereas suppose you are going to a shop to purchase a book for a subject called let us assume for a science, for a subject called science. Let us go on to the very basic. So you wanted to buy a book for the subject called science, which we call it as EVS nowadays, environmental sciences, something like that. So now guys, you have been to the shop and you ask the shopkeeper to show the book for science, that is EVS, which is a combination of social and that is science. Now guys, tell you what is the shopkeeper is going to do. He is going to show you all the books available provided by different authors. You have, let us assume, some 100 books are there, and you have to purchase only one book which is required for you. Okay, which is required for you. So now what will you do? Are you going to sit at the shop and read all the books, 100 books, and take the decision of purchasing it or not? Or what is the way you opt it? Tell me guys. Just we stick it to the example, not beyond this. Yes guys, anyone?
Not only checking them.
Yes. So you can just you will check it. That means you will check it. But how will you check it? Is it possible for you? Masan, please put it in mute. Na? It's disturbing. Yes, please. Okay. So now, so guys, whenever you go to a shop to purchase a book for a subject called EVS, you are not going. The shopkeeper showed you 100 books, whereas it is not possible for you to read all the 100 books by sitting at the shop itself. At that time, what will you do? So now guys, yeah, there is a technique. What is it? Every book.
Index.
Yeah, suppose if, yes, exactly, very good. Okay, Dilip, excellent. So you have a paper called index paper. Wherever you have a paper called that is nothing but prefix paper or index paper, whatever it may be, you read that paper. In that, how the data will be given, topic name along with the page number, from which page to which page, which topic, and topic name along with the page number, from which page starting and which page ending. The things will be given in that index paper. So now I can say that you can check all the indexes of all the books, and then you can take a decision of purchasing it or not. But whereas if you get a doubt about any of that topic, so what you need to do, you need to go to that particular page number which is given on the index paper. You need to go to that particular page number and start reading and end the reading at the end of the page, whichever it is given in the index. So whereas we can say that index paper is used for verification, and from the second paper till the end of the book, it is given for what? Yes, it is given for what is that? To validate whether that particular topic is concerned to you or not, which you want to purchase. You can validate by reading that particular page number. Whereas in which page it is given, you can find out by checking the paper called what? Index paper. So we can say that the book is divided into two parts. The first part is nothing but called as what? Index paper. Guys, the first part is nothing called as what? Index paper. And the second one is called as what is that? The detailed part. The detailed part, that is nothing but from the second paper till the end of the book. Detail. Okay. So whereas we can say that a book is divided into two parts, that is the index paper, and the second one is called as what? Detail. Whereas we can say that the data or the information here, it is recorded in which manner here? Summarized manner. In which manner? Summarized manner in the index paper. And in the detailed paper, that is detailed book, it is recorded in what? Detailed manner. That is elaborated manner, we can say elaborated manner. So in the same way here also, the database is nothing but a place where information is recorded in a detailed manner. Whereas irrespective of the type of database, the database is classified or divided into two parts. Likewise, the first part and the foremost important part is called as what? TDB. And the second part is called as what? WHDB. Now guys, let us elaborate it. TDB stands for what? Transaction database. It stands for what? Transaction database. And the second one is called as what? Warehouse database, or we also call it as what? Data warehouse. Data warehouse. Okay, this is the name I think you might have heard very often, that is named frequently in the IT. So whereas data warehouse. So the data within a database is recorded into two categories. What is that? The first one is called as what? Transaction database, and the second one is called as what? Data warehouse. Where the transaction database is a place where information is recorded in which manner here, guys? Detailed manner. And these records are used for what? Verification. These records are used for what? Verification and validation. Verification and validation. Whereas the records within a data warehouse is recorded in which manner here? It is in the summarized manner. It is in which manner here? Summarized manner. And these records are used for what? Yes, guys. These records are used for what? Yes, these records are used for decision making. Decision making. Getting my point? These records are used for what? Decision making. These records are used for what? Decision making in the summarized manner. In the same way, on this particular concept called database, we have the many softwares available in the market. Such we call it as what? Oracle is there. And then we have what? SQL Server. Then we have what? Teradata. And then we have what? Teradata is there. Then we have what? Informix. Sybase, etc., etc. Many more softwares are there. That is nothing but developed on the database. Whereas, irrespective of the type of that is software you have it, the data within a database is divided or categorized into two categories. The first one is called as what? Transaction database, and the second one is called as what? Data warehouse. Second one is called as what? Data warehouse. And the data in the transaction database is recorded in a detailed manner, and the data in the data warehouse is recorded in which manner? Summarized manner. And these records are used for what? Decision making. This is called as what? The data warehouse is called as what? Decision making system. It is called as what? Decision making system. DMS, which stands for what? Decision making system. The data within a data warehouse is nothing but, it is in which system it is recorded? Decision making system. That is, it is called as what? Decision making system data. That's it. Whereas, guys, now tell me, let us go back to our same example of a book now. Now tell me, if you are an author of a book, will you write the index paper first or will you write the book first? Anyone?
Index paper.
Book name.
Index
Book.
paper.
Paper
Index.
first.
How many of you say it's index paper, guys?
I will write the book.
Book only.
Sir,
Book name only. Book author name only.
Book, then index.
Very good, everyone. So there is a movie, guys. So first of all, the movie is that it is labeled, or the shooting is done, then it is labeled off.
So first shooting.
Exactly. First of all, the shooting, everything will be taken care. Then based on that, only the title of the movie is decided. Isn't it or not? In the same way, first of all, the book is written, not the index paper, guys. The index paper is developed on the book only. The number of topics, whatever the topics are there, it is developed on the book. So hence we can say that the book is written first and the index paper is developed on the, that is nothing but based on the book and the number of topics covered in the book. Getting my point? In the same way here also, guys, the data warehouse, that is transaction database, is developed first. It is the primary data source. It is the actual place where the actual data is recorded. Whereas the data warehouse data will be developed based on the requirement of the end user. Requirement of the end user. Whereas now, guys, as we know that the book is written first, and based on the book, the index paper is written. Likewise, to convert that detailed data into summarized manner, you require to use a pen and a paper. As it is a matter of only one book, you can use a pen and paper and write the topic names, etc., etc. You can write it. Suppose you have to develop an index paper for some lakhs of books. Is it possible for you to do manually? No, not possible. For that, you require technological support. In the same way, whenever you require to convert this detailed data into summarized manner, it is not possible for a user to make it manually. So hence here we use a technique called what? ETL, which stands for what? Yes, guys, extraction, transformation, and loading. That is called as what? ETL. Extraction, transformation,
and loading.
and loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. So this is the technique which is used to convert the detailed data of the transaction database into summarized data. That is called as a data warehouse. So the data warehouse is loaded with the data by using the technique called what? ETL. That is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. And on this particular technique, we have the softwares available in the market, such as what? Informatica.
Talent.
Yes, Ebnisho, etc., etc. Various softwares are there, guys. Whereas these softwares are called as what? On-premises. These are called as what? On-premise. These are called as what? On-premises. This is used for what? On-premise. What do you mean on-premise? That means here, guys, can you see? Here, this is the system. I have my system physically. You require to work on the data, but you require to take the data from my system. My system. So for that, the main source of my data is nothing but, that is, you can get the data from only my system. That means my system is a server. My system is a server. You have to depend for data only on me. Now, in case if I lost the data or some problem happens in my computer, the entire data is lost. So how can I do that? It's not possible for you to work even, isn't it? So for that, what happens is the data is loaded on the clouds. That is nothing but we use the cloud to store the data. So whatever the data you have it, that is nothing, whatever the type of data, whether you want a SQL server, the SQL server, you will inform your cloud provider that I want to store the data on SQL server. So the licenses, everything will be taken care by the cloud. And now the data will be loaded onto the cloud here. Getting my point? Clouds. The data will be loaded onto the clouds here. Okay, SQL server. So here SQL server. Now guys, once you have the data loaded onto the SQL server, and from this you wanted to transfer this data to the AWS, Amazon Web Services application. So whenever you wanted to transfer this data, the detailed data into summarized manner, here in between we use a technique called what? ETL. But whereas this Informatica works on what? On-premises data only. Between the clouds, it does not support. So for that, we use a service here provided by the Microsoft, that is called as what? Azure Data Factory. We use the service called what, guys? Azure Data Factory, which is used to perform the ETL operations, which is used to perform what is that? The ETL operations between the clouds and also between the on-premises and clouds. Suppose on-premises, it works even on on-premises. Between on-premises and cloud. Suppose you have the data from on-premises, you have to move it to the GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Even then you can use the Azure Data Factory and get it integrated and and you can do the job. That's it. Okay. So whereas this is how we use the service called ADF, which stands for what? Azure Data Factory. Guys, I'm emphasizing on this. This is a service, not a software. Azure Data Factory is a service provided by Microsoft to work on the ETL or to use the extraction, transformation, and loading. Whereas here it also supports the ELT. ELT is what? The latest technique developed. Extraction, loading, then at last transform it. Anyways, as a part of this, we are going to see these two. What is ETL and as well as ELT? What is the difference you have on ETL and what is the difference you have on ELT? That is also we are going to analyze in the coming days. Okay. So basically, whereas what are these two services you have it? We have what is that? Azure Data Factory is there and Azure Databricks is also there. What is it? Azure Databricks is also used for the same purpose. That is nothing but it is also used for what? Extraction, transformation, and loading only. But whereas, guys, Azure Databricks involves a lot of coding here. That is nothing but you must and should know. That is nothing but you must and should know the various languages, such as you need to know the Python, you need to know the R, or you need to know the SQL, and even you need to know the Spark. All these are yes, PySpark. You require the PySpark to use the Databricks. Whereas the Data Factory is a menu driven, it is a menu driven, and totally it is a GUI. Means what? Graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. But of course, once the Azure Data Factory is given, then why the Databricks is given. You will come to know in future once we get into the subject what exactly the difference you have and why at what till what point we use the Data Factory and from where exactly we need to start up the Databricks. That we will see it. So because at this point of time, if I explain you also, it would be confusing for you. So I don't want to take that. So now guys, so now as of now, you can see that the Databricks or the Data Factory, whatever we use, it is used for what? That is nothing but extraction, transformation, and loading. Getting my point? So whereas this is the thing we have it. And when it comes to this course, guys, and this particular course duration will be that is nothing but around 45 to 60 hours classes you will have it. 60 hours, wherein during these classes we are going to see all the scenarios. That is nothing but what exactly is the requirement right now in the industry. See, what we have to move according to the industry's requirement. The industry is not going to work according to us. We have to work according to the industry requirement. So what exactly the scenarios, what exactly the industry requires, in that way we are going to deal with the scenarios. So on the everyday we are going to see one case study, and on this case study we are going to see this entire process from end-to-end process, that is from right from the extraction till the transformation and loading, everything wise. Okay, so we are going to see around 35 to 40 scenarios on this, and whereas the basic part of this, and even I'm going to take you up with the SCDs, that is slowly changing dimensions. What exactly the thing, that means all the things what you're going to use it for developing a database, data warehousing. Okay, all these things on the cloud environment, not on the on-premises, on the cloud environment. And even as a part of this course, we are going to see the integration of how you are going to get integrated with various cloud technologies. That is called as, suppose you are doing the ADF, Azure Data Factory, how you can integrate your Azure with the GCP, how that is Google Cloud Platform, how you are going to use this Azure with the Amazon, how you are going to use this Azure with the Alibaba. All those things I'll show you in practical with a live example, guys. Okay, so I can say you that that is nothing but we can, as till the end of this course, you will be in a situation where you should attend an interview and get a job. And moreover, when it comes to this, all right now, what is the trend going on? The backdoors and okay, and even the proxies and even the rest of the things you have. We don't entertain all those things, but I'll train you in such a way that you can crack the damn interview. Anyone? Okay, that is nothing but any type of interview, any damn tough interview, you can just crack it in. We will go in such a way. Okay, and apart from this, around when it comes to my training experience, see, I'll be doing it as a passion. This is a passion for me to train. Okay, as such, I don't depend on all this, but it's a passion. So I'm habituated of doing this since okay, past 7 to 8 years. I'm just into this training where I've trained various technologies, etc. Okay, and somebody raised your hand. Yes, Singh, Mr. Singh, tell me.
So what is the prerequisite to attend this training? Any prerequisite that we have to know before joining this course?
In fact, you require the prerequisite of the SQL language, but as a part of this course, I'm going to give you the basic, the requirement of SQL. I'll even teach you that SQL. And apart from this, if you require more things, it is there with the Durga soft. You can just go ahead, a crash course of thing, because SQL is a just type of a the basic thing which is required. Of course, as a part of this course, I'll tell you that with that, I think you can cope up with whatever the things is required. See, if at all you are a non-IT guy and get into this IT industry, so we will go in such a way that you will understand it. Just to try to attend some classes, you'll come to know what is it. Yes, Mr. Rajesh, go ahead.
Sir, I am 2016 pass out MBA, sir.
Yes.
So after that, I am doing different works in non-IT works like food processing industries, those type of works. Now I want to enter into the IT industry.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is possible to enter for this
exactly
course.
That is the beauty of the cloud right now. You can go as a fresher or you can put up the experience. It depends upon you. Okay, because you even have the fresher requirements. That is the thing you have it, because you don't have much available resources in the market, and this has come very new. Okay, and the cloud technologies is developing right now, so hence you have a good requirement, guys. You can get a job very easily, but Subject to which you should have a very good command on the subject. You should go every class. You should not miss the classes. Okay. Though we provide this, this videos and all, but you have to attend the live class. Then only you can understand. If you have any doubt, you can discuss it. Yes. What is it?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Who's this? Tell me your name.
I am Prakash. Sir.
Tell me, Prakash.
I'm sir. I have learned from Durga shop Oracle 19C and get a job.
Okay.
And already I'm doing, and I have also worked 8 months in Oracle PLSQL.
Okay.
And I switched in another company which SQL Server. Is it right track for me, sir?
See, track means if I push you that this is the right track, like the people are available in the market, it is just like I'm doing my own marketing. You have to decide what is the requirement you have in the market. The market in the future is the cloud. So hence, I would suggest you to go ahead definitely. Okay, that's not at all the thing you have it. If you think that you can do the good hard work on this, definitely you can do this. You can get a job. That's not at all a problem. Yes, Amit Patel, you can tell me.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So kind of job role I can expect with this course?
See, you will have a data engineer. You will be called as a Azure data engineer. You will be having an Azure data engineering. Apart from this, you will also have an Azure admin is there, but you will not have much requirement for admin. Though I will show you the basic how the admin jobs will be taken place. Okay, but you will not have much requirement. But Azure data engineer, you will be called it as what? Azure data engineer. Likewise, based on the experience, you can go up to the solution architect. At that level, you can reach. That's not a thing. And whereas this is the highest paid, the cloud technology is the highest paid in the industry right now in the IT sector. Yeah. Next question.
Sameer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm big data developer. I'm working in the Spark right now. So can I opt this training because big data Databricks is also involved in the.
Yeah, of course. Well, definitely. Why not? You can go ahead.
You are also included in topics, some Spark details in your curriculum.
Yes, of course. Basically, these are the two different courses you have it, ADB and ADF. Okay. But as far as ADF is concerned, I am going to show you the integration of ADF with the ADB and write a basic code in the ADF only. Okay. You will have a separate course called ADB. In that you can go ahead. That's not a thing. So that you can check out with the management, Durga Soft people, and they will clarify you on that. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Sameer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Sameer Islam this side. I'm having a basically major exposure with the storage and backup background.
Okay.
Right. From last 1.5 years, I'm trying to penetrate things like inside the cloud and all, but I'm not getting the proper opportunity. So will this be a beneficial for me?
See, beneficial means if at all you want to make your career onto the cloud.
Right. Basically, I want to make a career on this data factory.
So definitely this will be very much helpful for you, though you have already, you are well versed with the process, what's going on, okay, and what exactly happens. And if you just brush up your skills on how the data is moved from on-premises to cloud and work on the cloud based on this, you can go ahead. Then it will be a very fetching thing for you guys.
Yes, Sameer. Sameer, can you please show us what are the course content? What are the you are providing?
See, the course contents and curriculum, you can just check with the management because they'll be taking care of this. So course curriculum, everything. I'll ask the people. I'll ask the management to share the course curriculum with all of you.
Hello. Hi, sir. This is Vijay.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, like after completion of this training, how much of experience we can put onto the resume?
You can put up to, see, if at all you can manage, it's better to put up 1 to 2 years of experience, and rest of the things, it depends upon you. But I'll just go ahead and prepare you even for mock calls also. We'll try to have it. Okay. We'll also have some mock calls and FAQs will be given to you. And basically don't stick up to the FAQs. Though everyone, to be very honest with you guys, FAQs will be given. Of course, they are in the market. But even as a solution architect, we are working into the corporate. But right now we don't pick up. We just lay down the questions based on our requirement, not on the fixed FAQs. Don't be in that notion. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Next question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go
Hi,
ahead. Just tell me
Khalid.
your name and go ahead.
Sir, actually, I'm asking that actually, I'm working as a BI developer for Power BI and the Cognos or Tableau. So how
Okay.
it will be help in my career?
See, basically, yeah, that's a very good point. Actually, you are working on Power BI. You are working, guys. Rest of you just put it in the mute mode. The people is asking the question can go ahead, and rest of you just put it in the mute mode because it's disturbing the class. Okay. So, who was this question who asked me just now?
Yes, sir. I am asking the question because I just recently started working in Power BI. Before that, I worked in the Tableau.
Okay.
So.
This exactly. So you have what you can what is that you can just go ahead is either you can integrate the ADF with Power BI. You can see that. See, in the Power BI, what you will do, you'll generate the reports. You'll perform the reporting, isn't it?
Yes.
But whereas from where you get the data, from ultimately you'll get the data from the data engineer only. The data engineer is the person who's going to provide you the data. So whereas if you learn this from one end to the other end, and now the Power BI is an individual tool, we have it, though it is used for the cloud. Okay, but here you have Azure Synapse is there. In Azure we have a Synapse. It's a part of Azure, the cloud, the data engineering, what we are doing. We will also see this Azure Synapse. In that particular Synapse, you will have everything reporting more efficient and more, very, effective reporting than any other tool you have it in Synapse. Synapse is the data warehousing of Azure.
Yeah, another thing I just want to know that actually I have a basic knowledge regarding any programming.
You don't. I told you now. You don't. Though you require it, but whatever you require, it will see as a part of our course, and I will teach you in such a way that you should understand everything. But subject to it, you should put your maximum efforts. Then only I can help you out. Else, it will be difficult. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead with the next question. Yeah.
Sir, after the course completion, will you provide any training certificate?
That you have to check with the management.
Hello.
You check with the
Can you hear
management. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Ravikant. Yeah, tell
Yes.
me.
My question is like, is it okay with only Python with Azure Databricks?
Of course. Yeah, we are going to learn this Azure Databricks on 4 different languages. Python, the same code we write it in Python, the same code we write it on this Spark, the same code we write it on the SQL, and the same code we write it on the SQL. That is something, but
Okay.
R also.
Out of 4, which is more popular in the market?
PySpark, obviously.
PySpark.
PySpark, Python is good. Yeah.
Okay, what is the difference between Azure Data Factory and Azure DevOps?
DevOps is a totally different concept.
Okay. So because I'm new to the clouds, that's
yes. DevOps is totally different concept. Yeah, go ahead. Next.
Sir, how much salary we can expect after this?
See, guys, salary in the sense, see, the cloud from 1 year experience for a cloud engineer, from 1 year experience till the 10 years experience, the salary is starting ranging from 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs to the limit. There is no limit basically. But if you satisfy with 1+ year of experience, definitely you will get more than 7+. Or if you could convince it, and this particular, the salary part, which what you're talking about, it even depends upon the requirement. If you are the requirement is very crucial, they will pay you, instead of 10 lakhs, they will pay you 15 lakhs and they'll hire you. That's the thing. Okay. Based on the requirement only, these things are decided.
I met one of my colleagues in my new company. He's working on Azure Data Factory only. He's getting 10 lakhs because based upon his explanation, I thought he don't have experience, but he has experience some other technology, but he's working on his Azure Data Factory. He said like he faced some problem in the starting, but it's now fine after 6 months.
Yeah. Obviously, if you switch over to the new technology, new project, things will obviously, you have to adjust yourself, and it will take some time for you to manage the things, everything. Once you are settled to any project settled down, then you can go ahead. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, guys, you can ask me now. Somebody raised the
any coding experience or knowledge required for this?
Coding means, I told you now, the SQL basic coding is required. That I'll show you. But in the Azure Data Factory, as such, there is no coding required. This you need to fix up with the scenarios and all. And whatever it is required, I'll take care. You don't worry.
Hi, Sameer. Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead. Who is this? Next question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sameer, will you cover storage accounts as well, like blob
Obviously,
storage and
without
data
the,
lake?
yes. Azure Data Lake Gen 1, Azure Data Lake Gen 2. Okay, without the blob storages and Synapse Analytics, all the storages I'll cover. And without that, we cannot go ahead and see the scenarios. That's very mandatory. Yeah. Next question.
Yeah, will you provide notes as well?
Of course, material will be provided to you.
Oh, what would be the timings?
Yeah, we'll start up at 7 o'clock from tomorrow. We'll start up. Okay.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I am a college principal.
Okay, sir.
I've done my MTech and MCA.
Okay.
I teach for BCA and MCA students.
Okay.
After the COVID, there was teaching was in a big problem. So salaries have not been paid. So now I want to shift to the industry. Okay. But my age is 51 years. At this age, is it possible to move to industry?
Yeah, you can do it. You can try out. That's not an issue. Obviously, that age is not the factor, but you have to put up some experience. So you have to make some changes in your profile, because if you go ahead on this thing, that may cause as a fresher you cannot go ahead.
Yeah.
So you have to make some changes on your CV. Then definitely you can get it. That's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Is it 7 p.m. every day, sir? Class?
Hello, Sameer.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what are the topics and what are the contents will you cover in course, like Databricks, Data Factory, Data Synopsis, Cosmos?
Yes, Cosmos DB is also there. Synapse Analytics is also there. And all this, the blob storage and Data Lake Gen 1, Gen 2. Okay. And even the Elastic Pool is there. We will cover even that.
And Databricks?
Databricks, I'll tell you, if you are learning ADF, Azure Data Factory, I'll tell you 1 or 2 classes which gives you the integration with Databricks. But as such, the Databricks is different subject. Yeah, go ahead. Ravi Khan.
Yes, but the Data Factory is also will cover a whole.
Yeah. Data Factory, I'll cover the whole. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sameer.
Go. Yeah, tell me.
Hello, Sameer.
Yeah,
Good
tell
evening.
me. Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me.
Actually, every day class timing is 7 to 8, right?
Yes, 7 to 8. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay, thank you.
Sameer sir.
Hello. Yeah, tell me, Martin.
Sameer sir, this is sufficient for ADF or admin also we can learn?
I told you now, admin scenarios, I'll tell you 1 or 2 scenarios where you'll get a basic idea of admin. Admin, you'll not have much requirement. Don't go much onto this. You'll have a data engineer requirement more than the comparatively with admin. The admin basic scenarios, how to make the changes and how to, what is the troubleshoot we can do it as an admin, that I'll show you in the scenario. That's the only thing.
Okay.
So Sameer, like by using like this course, so what are the certifications we can like get? Like maybe that may be externally, but
yeah, you can write the certification for the Azure. You can write certification. It is provided by the Microsoft. If you have that certification, that is a very good and added advantage to your profile. It will carry a good weightage on your profile.
Yeah, like let's say what is the certificate name, so that we can source it.
That is, you'll have this cloud certificate. That is the the Microsoft cloud data engineer. You'll have it. Various, you have the levels and names for it. Okay.
Okay, so will that like this course
Microsoft
content
certified cloud engineer? Yeah, tell me.
So this course content will allow to get the certification.
You
can you just
definitely
list it out, like what are the certifications we have on the course content? Like this can be achievable by after this course completion. If you
the basic level till the solution architect, you can write any kind of certification with the contents what we are giving it. Okay. So you can just go ahead and see what are the things exactly we cover it in a first, the first week class itself. You'll come to know how at what level we can stand on this. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Sameer.
Thanks. Anyone? Any other questions, guys?
One more.
And, one more thing, like Sameer, like morning we have any batch?
We are going to start hopefully in the that is by this month end or next month we are going to start the morning batch. But right now we have a 7 p.m. That is 7 p.m. batch right now. From tomorrow on.
That will be from that will be like 10 to 11, the morning batch.
Morning will be 7 to 8. You will have one batch. 8 to 9 you will have another batch. 9 to 10 you will have another batch. Morning
Where
3
we
batches. Evening 1 batch. Only 1 batch evening.
where we access the video after
Yes, you will be giving the access. You'll be given the access to the everyday class video. You can refer it. That's not a problem.
Other than
Evening batch, sir. Evening batch from which time, sir?
7 to 8. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll start it from tomorrow.
Okay, okay,
one,
sir.
one question.
Yeah,
Sir,
tell me.
so in that industry, AWS is more popular and Azure is more popular. In upcoming, which one get the more jobs in the
Azure? See, AWS, actually Amazon is okay, good, but Azure is grabbing the whole market right now. You can check. It's not my words. You can just check on this. Azure is the leader. It's becoming leader very slowly, and apart from this, on par with the Azure, you will have a competitor called GCP in future, coming in 1 or 2 years. GCP will be competitor for Azure. Amazon is not so demanding right now. Okay, that's there, but not so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Sameer.
Yeah. Tell me. Who's this? Tell me your name and go ahead.
Yeah. This is Nagesh. Actually, I have total 4 years of experience in SSIS. I'm a SSIS developer.
Okay.
Now, I want to switch to ADF. Will it helpful for me?
Yes, obviously you will have a facility to in this you can run these SSIS patches into this ADF without changing the code. That feature you have it. So we say IRs integration runtimes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obviously it's very fetching.
So other than the 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. batch, other than any other batches?
Yeah, another batch we are going to start. But right now this is the batch you have it. If you want more clarity, you can just check with the management. Some people from the Durga Soft, they will assist you on this. Yeah, just a minute. Admin, Durga Soft admin, are you there? Durga Soft admin. Okay, anyways, I'll ask the admin to get in touch with you guys. And if you have any queries, you can just get back to me. And tell me.
Yeah, this is Azure Data Factory, Databricks, Synopsys, SQL, all are development, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, there is no admin, only development.
This is there is development tools, but even we have our admin services also there. I told you now I'll tell you some 2 scenarios on admin also. Okay, I'll tell you some 2 scenarios on admin also, and the rest of the things it depends upon the things. Okay, the basic, as I told you, you will not have much requirement on admin. It's very good, of course. Admin is also required, but see, either you can work as admin or as a data engineer. But we are getting trained here as in data engineers.
Okay, that means development.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Hi, Sameer, Ravikant here.
Yeah, tell me, Ravikant.
I do have 10 years experience in storage. If I switch to data engineer, ADF means will they consider me if I show 2 to 3 years of experience in
Definitely. ADF? Why won't they consider it?
Because all my experience belongs to infra only, not because all of a sudden moving towards development means will they consider my experience?
Obviously, they will consider, but how to design the things, just get in touch with me. I'll tell you.
Okay,
sure. How to all resume planning and all those things. I'll suggest you on that. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
That's it, guys. Any other questions you have?
Yeah, Sameer. I have that. So once you teach all these classes every day to practice sessions, do we get a license? Anything?
License is not required basically. This is only you have to just start your service onto this Azure, and you can go ahead on that. You need not. See, there is no piracy. There is no pirated software required. Nothing is required here. Directly you can get login here. I'll tell you how to get it. Simply you need to go onto this portal.azure.com and you can just go ahead and see the things. Yes, tell me. The next one is Amit.
Yeah. So this session
this is Dilip.
So this session was every day 7 to 8 p.m.
Yeah, 7 to 8 or 8:15 it will be. Not exactly the 8. It will be 8:15 sometimes. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Amit.
Saturday and
Hi,
Sunday.
Sameer. This is Dilip.
See, the classes will be from Monday to Friday only. Saturday occasionally we'll have it because it's a holiday for me. Even I don't work on Saturdays, but if it is required, definitely we'll see. As we have already, we took much holidays in this month, so we are working tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow you'll have the class. Yes, tell me, go ahead. Next one.
Yes, Sameer, Amit here.
Hmm.
So as per I go with Azure subscription, do I require any credit card to subscribe?
Obviously,
that,
you require it.
Azure
Yes, you require. You require a credit card. Debit card is not sufficient for that. You must and should have a credit card.
Okay. And do I have any end-to-end project implementation in this course so
Obviously,
that I can show in my experience?
definitely, I will show you a project, and that project you can put it up by changing some specifications. You can put it up in your resume also.
So, do we have to pay any kind of subscription charges to the Azure in the era of that course?
See, for initial 45 days, 1 month you have free. They'll charge only ₹2. Then later on, you have to take the paid subscription. For that, they will charge you some, based on your usage only. But you will not get a bill more than 1,500, 1,200 like that. Once you practice that, but I don't think it's required for you guys at this point of time. You practice it, that's okay. You don't require to take the paid subscription now.
So, yes, for that reason, we can use multiple credit cards. Okay? So
Yeah,
that,
we can use obviously multiple
skip
credit
the
cards.
subscription charges.
Yeah, multiple credit cards or multiple mail IDs. Something you can go ahead. Okay.
Okay. Will you guide
Hi,
us within this?
This is Dilip.
What is it, Amit? Tell
Hi,
me.
Sameer. This is Dilip.
Yeah, tell me, Dilip.
Please.
Yeah, actually, I'm a IT engineer. I maintain the MPLS server and the network. So this is suitable for me. I mean, the Azure Data Factory.
If you want to move on to this cloud and services of the cloud, definitely it is very good.
Yes. This is suitable for me.
Yes, it is suitable. You can do it. That's not a
Presently, I'm maintain MPLS server and networking.
Yeah.
Infra side.
Yes, I got it. That. You can go ahead. That's not a problem. You can try out.
Yes,
Azure. Tell me, Nagendra.
Yeah, Snowflake is different from this course, right?
Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse, which is from Snowflake only. It has to do nothing with Azure, but we will see one integration scenario with the Snowflake also.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Can you please share the content also for this?
Definitely. I'll ask the management to share it with you guys. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, Amit.
Tomorrow morning we have shown that 10 a.m. is also seminar for ADF. Is it the same, or should we join at 7 p.m. on tomorrow?
7 p.m. tomorrow, you can go ahead directly.
Okay. So same seminar will be repeated at 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning by
Yes. Almost all. Okay. Any other questions for me?
Hello, Sameer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only ADF is enough for data.
That's enough. Only ADF is enough for getting a job. You don't require the ADB or something else at this point of time. Any other questions?
Tomorrow will be the same link or it will be a different link?
That they will let you know. I don't know about that. Okay. The Durga soft people will get in touch with you on this. Yeah. Any other questions for me?
Yes, Sameer. Brahma this side.
Tell me.
Basically, we are using this cloud service from legacy to cloud, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's in this ADF we are creating pipelines that all there.
Yes, very good, excellent. That's the only thing we're doing it right.
Yeah, through pipelines only we are moving the data on premises to cloud, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there is a trigger concept, that's all.
Yeah, trigger is automated. That is automate the pipeline to run on a particular date, day and time. We use that.
Yeah, okay.
That is basically the production environments. We just make it off.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, Sameer.
Yeah, any other questions? Next one.
Sameer,
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. For this Azure data engineering SQL, that is Oracle SQL or Microsoft SQL?
SQL is same for all because it's a RDBMS rule we have.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
At the end of the course, will you explain any real-time project?
Of course, I'll explain you the project, a good project which you can put up in your resume, but don't call it as a real time. If I tell you the real time, it is just like faking and all these things. I don't do all this. I'll explain you a good project which you can put up in your CV.
Okay. Will you share the daily class videos? Will you share?
Yeah, definitely. The daily class videos will be shared to you.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah, gurus. Anyone?
Yeah, you can share the Google Drive or any other.
Yeah, definitely. The Google Drive will be shared. Definitely. Any other questions?
Any lifetime access or only sometime for these recordings?
It will be a lifetime only, as far as my knowledge is concerned. But you check with this management.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
So can we prepare for DP 203 exam by Microsoft?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Sameer, sir, so I have one quick question. So, how the updations has been done by Microsoft for an ADF? Is it monthly or quarterly? Quarterly update or monthly update? Suppose, let's say, they want to add one feature. Will that be added every quarterly?
There basically, it's as such. There is no constant time. If they want, they will add it. But you cannot cannot say a time frame where it should add and within quarterly or monthly, something like that. But it's every day. Sometime even in a feature, 50 days also I can see this new feature is added.
So one last question. So have we seen any differences in the year of 2020 ADF and current ADF?
Obviously, a lot of features are added. In 2020, we used to have the Gen 1 was allowed.
Yeah, Gen 1 is there.
Now the Gen 1 is totally disabled. They have disabled the Gen 1 now. Like many features, everything wise. Okay. Any other thing? That's it. Thank you guys for attending. I'm just logging off for the day. We'll just meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Sameer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So yesterday already we have discussed the basics of the Azure Data Factory. So before we move ahead, just I want to brush it up once, and we'll move ahead with this subject here. Okay. So whereas the Azure Data Factory, basically it is what? It is an service. It is a service. It is a service provided by what's that? Microsoft. Okay. It is a service provided by the Microsoft. It is a service provided by the Microsoft to perform the ETL operations, that is between the clouds and on-premises. Okay, or on-premises to cloud, vice versa, whatever it may be. Okay, guys. So this is nothing but the thing we have seen the basics of this, the Azure this thing introduction yesterday. Now today we'll start with this. Okay, so as we need to perform the job of
Sir, one doubt. Can you tell me exactly what is the on-premises?
And what is the ETL? What is ETL, sir?
Just a minute. I'm coming to that. Just give me a second time. Okay, guys. So I'll just brush it up once. That's better. Okay. So whereas, okay, what is basically the ETL? ETL is nothing but it stands for extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction. It stands for extraction, transformation, and L stands for loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. Whereas this is the ancient technique we are using it. Right now, the scenario in most of the corporates, it has changed to extraction, loading, then transformation. Okay, then transformation. So these are the two techniques. Now I'll just brief you what exactly this extraction, transformation, and loading is used. Basically, to begin with, the extraction, transformation, and loading process requires the following. What is that? The first one, we require it as a source, and the second one is require it as a target. Getting my point? Target. So we require two things here. Okay, what is it? Source is the destination, that is, source is the starting point. Source is the starting point, and target is the destination. Target is, what is that? Destination. Now guys, suppose you wanted to travel somewhere. Suppose you wanted to travel from Hyderabad to the Bangalore. So what will be a source? What will be a source? You wanted to travel from Hyderabad to the Bangalore. Yes guys, I want in session to be a bit interactive. I want everyone to interact with me irrespective of the things.
By bus, by train, or flight.
Whatever it may be. That is a source of, that is nothing but the means of travel, you can say. But what is your source? Your source is what?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, exactly. Very good. Hyderabad is your source. Whereas your destination is what? Bangalore. Bangalore. And now here, Bangalore is your destination. Okay, Bangalore is your destination. Whereas now here it comes the middle. What is that? The middle part. What is it? You're traveling. By what means? By using a bus. Else, you can travel it by using your own car. You can travel by using your own car. So I'm just using comma. You're using a car. That is a semicolon car. Or else by the means of train. You can use a train. And by flight. These are all what? These are all what? These are the means of transport which it, yes, or exactly means, or we can say mode of transport which takes you from Hyderabad to what is that? Bangalore. Which takes you from Hyderabad to what is that? Bangalore. That is your destination as your Bangalore. Wherein you can travel either by using a bus, car, train, flight, okay, or anything it can be, whatever it may be. But generally we have all these things. Okay, these are the four mode of transports we have it. Of course, in fact, we can go out on a bike, but that is a bit risky. So these are the things we have it. But now can you see here, we are ultimately traveling. We are ultimately what we are doing, we are traveling. We are traveling here from Hyderabad to the Bangalore, from Hyderabad to what is that? Bangalore, okay, by using all this mode of transport. Getting my point? Whereas in the same way here, what is being transported here? We can travel it. Else we can transport some of the goods. We can do anything. Okay, isn't it? Whereas here the source is nothing but the source is the source of data. Here we have to consider it as what? Data. At the source level, you will always find the data box. Okay, you will always find the data. So the data you have to transfer it. The data you have to transfer it from one source to what is that? Another source. Whereas to transfer this data from one source to what is that? Another source. Ultimately, what is being transported here? That nothing but data is being transported from one source to what is that? Another source. Whereas for transporting of the data from one source to the another source, that is from the source to the target, in between we use this ADF, that is called as what? Azure Data Factory. What is it? We use what is that? Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. We use the Azure Data Factory, which is a service provided by the Microsoft. This is not a software, guys. It is a service provided by the Microsoft, which carries the data from the source to the target, or else we can say from the destination, that is from the that is source to the target, from the source to the target. But whereas, what is that source? That source, ultimately, it carries off the data only. But whereas, what are the source? We can have the data at the following different sources. That means, suppose you have the data in your computer located in your home. You have your computer. Getting my point? You have the data physically located in your computer into some, some C drive. You have some data is there. Some C drive, some data is there. Okay. So now this data is in your local computer, which is located at your home. Now, what you wanted to do is you want to transport this data from your computer, onto the, suppose, Google Drive. I'm giving you Google Drive here. Google Drive. Google Drive. Guys, if at any point of time you feel difficulty to understand, just let me know, so that this is the very basic things which you require to know. Once we move into the subject, then it will be difficult for you to catch up the things. Okay. So now, guys, what I am doing, see here, in your computer, which is located in Amirpet, you have your physical computer. As you're staying there, you have your own computer, and in your computer, within the C drive, you have some data, and that data you are trying to move it from your computer to what is that? Google Drive. To what is that? Google Drive. That means what you are doing, you are trying to move the data from on premises. That means from the physical location, you are moving the data from on premises to what is that? On premises to what? Cloud environment. Onto the cloud environment. Onto what environment? Cloud environment. So whenever you wanted to move the data from physical computers, okay, from the physical computer towards the cloud environment, at that particular time, this is called as on premises to cloud transfer. It is called as what? On premises to what is that? Cloud transfer. Hence, for this operation, we use the service of the Microsoft, that is called as what? ADF, which stands for Azure Data Factory.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, it's Informatica ETL and Azure Data Factory ETL similar to same or different, sir?
Yes, that is between only on premises. That is, if Informatica is there, if you do it, that means if at all you have on premises, you have here also on premises. That means in your computer, which is located in Amirpet, you are trying to transfer the data on another physical computer, which is located in Bangalore. Okay. At that time, it is called as what? On premises to on premises transfer. Whenever we use the on premises to on premises transfer, we will be using the ETL tool that is called as what? Informatica, or we can say Ab initio, or whatever you call it as. We use that. But whereas what is the trend going on? The trend, the entire IT industry is trying to shift its data from the on-premises environment, from what is that? On-premises environment to the cloud environment. Getting my point? From on-premises environment to what is that? Cloud environment. So the entire, yes, go ahead. What is it? Somebody want to say something? Yeah, guys? Okay, no issues. Okay, so from the cloud and from on-premises environment towards that cloud environment, the entire IT industry, the entire world is into this particular job of moving their data from physical locations towards that cloud environment, because to reduce the burden of storage, because to reduce the security issues. Okay, these are the major reasons why every business entity is trying to move their data from the physical locations to cloud environment. But whereas, as whenever you wanted to move the data from on-premises to what is that? Cloud environment, at that time we are going to use the service called what? ADF as the service. That is called as what? Azure Data Factory, which we are going to learn from now onwards. Okay, guys, that is nothing but called as what? Azure Data Factory. So here it helps us to transfer the data from on-premises to what is that? Cloud environment. Now, what is the necessity and how does exactly the things works off in ETL? Let us try to understand this with a very simple example, guys. I'll just give you an example. let us assume here you have some data is here. Let us assume here you have some data. Extraction, what is this transformation, what is this loading? I'll tell you with a small example, then we will move ahead with the things here. So here you have, let us assume some data is here, some sales data. You have some sales data. Okay, guys, some sales data is here, some sales data. So whereas the sales data having the following product ID, can you see here? Product ID is this first column. I'm writing the data in the form of table. Table, which is the collection of what, guys? Table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. Table is the collection of what? Rows and
column.
Exactly, rows and columns. Rows and columns. So I'm writing the data in the form of what? Table here. So the data is, the sales data is written here in the form of what is that? Tables. In the form of what is that? Tables. So whereas the first column is the product ID, and the second one, let us assume here you have the product rate, rate of the product, any product it can be. And now quantity sold, or we can say product quantity sold, QTY underscore sold here. See, make sure here mostly try to use the underscores. Okay, try to use the underscores to link. We generally use the underscores to link to what is that? To link one entity with the that is nothing but that is one word with the another word. If at all you want to link it, generally we use the underscores. But here the new technique what we are adopting is we can use the capital letter, one capital letter also. Can you see here? Quantity sold. I want to combine these two. So I can use what is it? Quantity, QTY in normal, P is in capital, sold, that is S in capital. This is the another way, that is nothing but we are opting it right now. So whereas the next one, product rate, product quantity, that is product ID, product rate, product quantity. And here I'm adding one more column called date of sales. Okay, date of sales. Anyways, all these, you know, the basic programming techniques I'll explain you once you get into the part of this, you know, the practicals. Now, guys, here you have the following. What is that? The product ID. The product ID is something like this. Okay, guys, the product ID is something like this. The product ID is something like this. And whereas you have the product rate. Product rate, let us make it as 100 rupees as the product rate. Okay, 100, you can say it is rupees or a dollar, whatever you wanted. So let us assume it in rupees. And quantity sold is 10. That means 10 pieces sold or 10 items sold, whatever you can say that. And then you have what is the date of sales. Let us give the date of sales as 1908, guys. 1908-2022 is the date of sales. And then you have the another product ID, something like this. And then I'm making the rate as what? 200. And here I'm making it as what? 5 as a quantity sold. And the date of sales is 1908-2022. Now, guys, the another product I'm just entering. Okay, just a product ID. So you go to the supermarket, you will find this kind of things, obviously. So here you have what is, let us assume it here as 500 and quantity sold is 2. So now the date of sales is 19/08/2022. This is the date of sales is 19th. This is just sales information of the 19th of this month. Now again you have the next one. Let us assume. Okay, guys, let us assume here the same, but here you have the date is changed from 19th to 20th. 20th. Okay, so I'll make some changes even on the rate also. Let us make it here as a 10 is the rate, and then you have what is it, 20 is the rate, and you're a 50 is the rate. Getting my point? Now this is your data. So now tell me, guys, how many days data is here? Can you tell me, all of you? Yes, guys, we have
2 days.
47 participants are there. I want a reply, guys. I cannot go dummy.
2 days.
Oh, that is. Yes, exactly. I want everyone to interact. See, this is better for you to interact, so that if you have any doubt, you can just clarify now and now there and then itself. If you don't interact with me, how can I know that you people are following or not? Okay, because this is not. If it was the early morning class, then it's fine, guys. You might be, in sleeping mode and all. But now You people are active, so you should interact. Okay, this is, see, this is the 2 days data you have it. Now guys, this will become your source. I'm just giving here a source. This will be a source. Getting my point? Now what you have to do is you have to load the data into the target. This will become your target. Guys, target is here. So now this is your target. You have to load the data into target. What is my destination data? I want the destination data in this particular format. That means I want this following things to be loaded into my destination. What is that? I want the net sales amount. I want the net sales amount. I want the net sales amount. Then afterwards, I want the date of sales as well, or else I want the date of sales as well. Okay, so I want what is the date of sales. I'm using date of sales. I want like this. Now guys, I'm not worried how much amount is which product sold, and what is the amount, that is what is the amount collected by each product. I don't want it as an end user. So this data is required for this is my target, and this target, guys, this is my target, the same target. As I cannot type it here, I'm just typing here. This is the target, guys. This is the target, and whereas this target is required by the management, of a sales industry, whatever that is nothing but, let us assume some supermarket management. They want it. They want how much amount is collected, total amount of sales, and the date of sales. They want this. So now guys, the story starts from E here. What is E? Yes guys, what is E? E stands for what? Yes, E stands for what? Extraction. So we want the data to be extracted from the source. So now tell me, what are the columns you require to be extracted? Now for our target, do we require it here, the product ID?
No.
No, we don't require the product ID, because I want net sales amount irrespective of the product. I don't want to know the product, which product sold, at what rate sold, how many things. I don't what is the quantity of the product. I don't want. I want only the net amount collected for the day. So for this, what we have to do? Extraction. So the extraction requires the product rate and the product quantity sold and the date of sales. These 3 columns are required. But I want net sales amount. Now guys, once the data is extracted, and as I wanted to find out the net sales amount, do we need to perform some arithmetic operations on the data or not?
Yes.
Arithmetic calculations. Do we require to perform some calculations? Yes, in fact, because to extract the net sales amount, to extract the net sales amount, guys, we require to perform some, what is that? Arithmetic operations. That means 100 into 10 means what? What will be our outcome here? 1000. Exactly. Very good. And then 200 into 5, that is also 1000. And 500 into 2,
1000.
that is also 1000. Getting my point? 1000. Now guys, now you have performing the arithmetic operations called multiply, that is multiplying it, the 100, that is into 10, and you're getting these values. So now these values are the 1000, 1000 and 1000. Now I want to consolidate them. That means I want a net sales amount now. Net sales amount of this day. What is the day you have it? The day is the 19th day of August 2022. So my date of sales is this. Just a minute. My date of sales is this. I want it here like this. Now how to do? What is it we have to do? We have to consolidate the data. So 1000 plus
3000.
1000 plus 1000, 3000. That means what is the operation you are performing? First of all, you are performing the multiplication. Then you are performing the addition. Two arithmetic operations you are performing it. So I am writing it here. 3000. Sorry, 3000 is the date. That is net sales amount. Now guys, what is the next thing you have it? So now what you are doing? This performing of arithmetic operations will be done by using, what is that? Transformation. By using, what is that? Transformation. Ultimately, after the transformation is done, what we will be doing? We'll be loading the data into the target now.
Target
That is nothing but loading or destination. Loading. Loading means what? I have written here. That means already the data is loaded here. Now the next data, next day data. What is the same? You have it. 10 into 10. Yes, tell me now. What is it? 10 into 10, 100. Then you have what is that? 20 into 5. Yes, tell me. 100. Very good. Then we have what's that? 50 into 2.
100.
Yes, guys. 100. That's it. Now, guys, the same thing. I'm entering it in the second row. What is that? The total net sales amount. Now perform the operation called what? Addition. Now 300 and the date of sales is what?
20.
20. Now can you see here? 0, 8, 20, 22. Now tell me, guys, 6 lines data I have consolidated in how many lines here? 2 lines.
2 lines.
So this is the logic and beauty, and you can say the actual operation you perform it by using the extraction, transformation, and loading. Getting my point? So the main logic is nothing but is in the transformation. As a data engineer, you will have to perform or concentrate more on the transformation and on the extraction part, because extraction means what you extract here? You extract the data ultimately. You extract what? Data. You ultimately extract the data. Okay, you will get the data. But whereas, what is the type of data you get? You can get any type of data. That is called as what? Raw and messy data. You can get the that is called as semi-structured data, structured data, etc. Now, don't worry. I'll explain you what is all this. Okay. So, guys, can you understand? So, this is nothing but the data. This is nothing but the thing about the extraction, transformation, and loading. Now, let us see how exactly the data. Let us come back to the data, because the main factor which we are going to work here is the data, guys. So, data. What is the or what is a data? Data means what? Information. Na? We will be working on what is that? Information. That is called as what? Data. Information. Okay, guys. Information is nothing but data. Now, a large amount of data means what? A large amount of data means what? Large amount of information means what? Can we
metadata.
Yes. Can we call it as a big data?
Metadata.
Yes, a large amount of data is nothing but what? Big data.
Metadata.
Exactly. Big data. We can call it as what? Big data. Big data means what? Large data. Big means what? Big means what? Large. Na?
Large.
Data means what? Information. So hence we can elaborate and say, or in simple language or for your understanding, I can say that large data. That is nothing but called big data. Or else I can use huge data. Okay, huge data. Don't get confused or don't get panic when I'm using the word called big data, because big data is a technical word. Okay, so whereas big data is nothing but what? This is the only thing it means. Large data or huge data. Nothing is very complicated. Nothing is complicated, guys. It depends upon us how simple we take the things. That is the only way and logic of understanding the things. Okay, so now big data. Now let us see the first of all the type of big data. Now I'm writing it here. Big data types. Guys, you can have the big data or the data, whatever you call it as, divided into 3 different types of or categories. That is called as what? The first one is called as what? Structured data. Yes, everyone following? I want a reply. We have 48 participants. I want a reply.
Yes, sir. Yes. Structured data.
Yes, sir. Structured data.
So any doubt in the previous thing we have dealt?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, nothing.
Good. So now we have a structured data. Guys, the next one is called as what? Semi-structured data.
Semi-structured.
Semi-structured data. The next one, the third one is called as what? Unstructured data. Now let us try to understand what is this semi-structured and structured and unstructured. I'll elaborate and tell you guys. Now guys, you have seen just a data here. This data, you have seen it now. This is in which format? Proper rows and columns format. That is in a tabular format. This kind of data is called as structured data, where you need not work on the structured data. Structured data is ready-made data. Structured data is, what is that? A ready-made data. You get the ready-made data. This is called as what? Structured data. A data with a proper rows and columns. The data with the proper rows and columns is called as what? Structured data. Is called as what? Structured data. A data with the proper rows and columns is called as what? Structured data. Now guys, the next logic and very important thing called as what? Semi-structured data. Now, what do you mean by semi-structured data? What do you mean by semi? Tell me now. Structured, you know, na, rows and columns. What do you mean by semi?
Before structure.
That means half.
Output.
It means what? Half structured. Semi means what? Half, na. Okay. You
Half
say
of
what?
the data.
Yes,
Yes, sir,
half
the
of the
data.
structure. Exactly, half of the structure. That is called as what? Semi-structured. The semi-structured data, we can get it in the following. What is that? In the following. We get the semi-structured data into the following formats. What is that? Or else into the following files or onto the following format. That is called as what? The first one is XML files, or we can say HTML files. Just put it in the mute mode, guys. Whoever it's disturbing the class. Okay. That is XML file, HTML file, and we have the JSON file. Means what? JSON stands for what? JavaScript object notation files. Yes, JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. Yes, guys, JavaScript object notation file. Okay. JSON stands for what? JavaScript object notation file. XML stands for extendable markup language, and HTML stands for what? Hypertext markup language. Now see guys, I will show you how the data will be written in an XML format. Okay guys. So now suppose the same data I am writing it for, for clarity. I don't want to disturb the data at this point of time. Now guys, I have a table name. The table name is the sales data. I'm giving the table name here as a sales data. Same data I will write it in the that is nothing but the semi-structured format. That is called XML. The XML. So can you see here? This, the first one is called as the row tag. These are called as tag. The data given in the tags is nothing but referred as what? XML. The data in the XML will be written like this. Here you have, can you see? This is called as, let us give the sales data. Sales data. Sorry, data. Now guys, this is called as what? Opening row tag. This is called as what? Opening row tag. This is called as what? Opening row tag. Yes, this is called as what? Opening row tag. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, who is this? Just stop using this. This is called as what? Opening tag. Now guys, I'll write this. The next one. Now I will write the first row and first that is column and first row. Only I'll write the first row here. So I'm writing the first row. How it will be written? Can you see here? The data will be written in the form of tags. So now you will have the opening tag, the first opening tag. What is the first opening tag? Product ID. Product. Can you see here? Product ID. This is highly case sensitive, guys. Product ID. XML file you're talking about. Can you see a product ID? And now what is the value you have it? This is the value. So I'll write the value here. Control C. I'm copying and pasting it. Now guys, this is the same. This is called as an opening tag. This is called as what? Opening tag. Now you have to close this tag. For closing this tag, we need to use the slash here. This is called as a closing tag. Now the second column, I'll write it here. Guys, the second column, I'll write it product rate. Okay. The second row I will write it, not the second column. I can change the second row. I'm writing it with the second column. So what is that you have it? 100 is the same, And now I will write it here, closing tag and opening tag. All of you following what I'm doing it here? I'm writing the XML file. The data will be written in an XML file. As a data engineer, you should know the pattern of every data, guys. Then only you can play with the data. As a data engineer, you should know the pattern. That's the reason I'm taking you up. Making you aware with the patterns. Can you see here? Again, you have the data here like this. So now I'm writing the third column, and now the third column. What is the data you have it, guys? 10. And now, sorry, now the tag is here. I'm pasting it the data, and now I'm closing the tag. But the tag has to be closed by using the slash here. Now, what is the next one? You have it, date of sales, guys. What is it? You have it, date of sales, and the date of sales is here. Date of sales is here. And now, guys, what is the date of sales? I'm just copying the date here. Okay, from here. Okay, just copying it. Just put it in the mute mode, please. It's disturbing the class. Mute yourself. Now, can you see here? Guys, this is the closing tag. So now this is nothing but the data written. Now, can you see here, guys? The entire row is written. Now, I want to close the row. The row is completed now. The first row, you have written it. So for closing the row, you have to use like this. Row tag. Closing of the row tag. Closing of what is that? Row tag. All of you following? Yes, guys, I want a reply from you guys. Yes, all of you following?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is nothing but the closing tag. So this is how you write the data into XML format. Okay. HTML will also be the same, but there will be a separate body. I'll show you that also. Now I will just show you once the JSON, and then we'll move further with this. So now JSON, the data in a JSON file will be recorded in a key value pair. In which one? Key value pair. The data is the same thing. If the same data I am writing it, please mute yourself. Yes, guys. Can you see here? Can you see here? We have a JSON file. So the data within the JSON file will be recorded in what? Key value pair. That is nothing but what? Key value pair for that. So the data will be recorded in the curly braces. So now the brace will start like this. Now I have to write the curly brace. Curly brace is this one, guys. Curly brace is this one. Now I'm writing it. The first row. What is that? You have it. The first row. I'm writing it here. What is that? The date, product ID. Product ID. Now see here. The data will be recorded under the double quotation marks is equal to. Now under the double quotation marks, again the value whatever you have it. Getting my point? Now here you have it. The data will be recorded in a JSON file like this. So again the data will be written here. Now again the comma after this, there will be a comma. Then come to the next line. Again the data is recorded in what? The same product rate. Can you see here? Product rate. Now you have to write the rate of the products. So I'm just writing it here. And then afterwards is equal to, under this again double quotation marks, the rate is what is that you have it. Let us give it as 100 as the rate. And again after this you'll have a comma. Then afterwards, what is the next thing you have it? Product quantity sold. So just let us try to copy this. I'm just copying it and trying to paste it here. Now this is the thing we have it is equal to. Now guys, what is the value you have it? The value is the 10. I'm just using it. Okay, comma. Then afterwards, what is the next thing you have it? Date of sales. I'm just copying this. Date of sales is here. So just copy this. Is equal to, again, what is the date of sales you have it? 19. Okay, sorry. 19/8/2022. I'm just copying this. Now guys, the data, the first row you have written it. Getting my point? The first row you have written it. That means you have to close the curly brace. This is called as what? A key value pair or an item. This is called as what? Key value pair or an item. Anyways, once we get into the subject, I will explain you the things in very detail. Don't worry about this. So the data is recorded in the semi-structured format that is called as what? XML or JSON. HTML will be more similar to the XML only. So that's the reason why I did not explain you that. So now XML and what is that? JSON. These are the two type of things or two type of formats which is called as what? Semi-structured format. Getting my point? Now guys, you can just speak out if you have any doubt. Following everyone?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, Sameer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the next one is what? Unstructured. Unstructured means what? Absolutely no structure. There will be no structure. The photos in your mobile phone, the videos, okay, the videos, etc. These are all called as what? Unstructured. There will be, and the chat history, guys, and the chat history. All this that is we chatted on the Facebook, we chatted on the WhatsApp. All that is, does it has any structure? No. That is called as what? Unstructured data. The data which does not has any kind of structure. Getting my point? The data which does not have any kind of structure is called as what? Unstructured data. And semi-structured means what? The data which has that is half of the structured. Structured means what? Fully structured. The data which is nothing but recorded in what? In the proper form of rows and columns. So these are the three types of big data we can have it. The big data is classified into how many categories here? Three categories: semi-structured, structured, and what is that? Unstructured.
Unstructured.
Getting my point? Now the next one after this, guys. Okay. So then afterwards, so now let us see the sources of getting the big data. From where do we get this big data? That we have to know. So for that, I'm writing it. Source
database
of big data. Not only the database, you have many more sources. Source of getting the big data. Source of getting the big data. Yes, guys, I'm going on to the very basic level. I'll come on to that. Don't worry. I'll come on to that level. Once you people start enjoying the subject, then I'll come down. Okay. So now the sources of big data. What is that? We can get the big data from the following source. The first source is what? Social networking sites. Social networking sites means what? Yes. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these are nothing. Yes, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these are called as what is that? The sources of getting the big data. Next one. What is it? You have human generated data. Now human generated data. So now what do you mean human generated data, guys? The human generates the data in the various formats. As just now somebody said, database. As just now somebody said database, no? Database is what? It is human generated data. Getting my point? Human generated data. Hence, the data which is there in the, that is the data which is generated by the human is called as what? Human generated data. It can be into what? CSV files. It can be into what? Excel files, or it can be into what? It can be into what? That is under a database. Okay. All this is nothing but called as what? Human generated data. And apart from this, you have that is called as what? The next source of getting the big data is nothing but machine generated data. Guys, apart from, yes guys, apart from the data generated, apart from the data generated by the human beings and the data which is generated, that is we got it from the social networking sites, we also have the machine, that is data generated by what? Machines. So what are the machines which generates the data? Yes guys, so for that, so I think we all know about the CT scan machine. CT scan machine, it has become very famous in the COVID. Okay, CT scan machine. And they have what? ECG machines. Yes, ECG machines, sorry, ECG
like
machine.
MRI.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
MRI. Yes, exactly. MRI. All this. Yes. These are all the machines, and these machines also generate the data. Hence, such kind of data is called as what? machine generated data, and these machines generates a very massive amount of data. Guys, this machine generated data is used by whom? By the clinical researchers. By the clinical researchers. That is nothing but I think everyone is aware of the clinical trials. What is clinical trial? After the COVID situation,
Before
I think
before
yes,
releasing the product, they are conducting the
yes,
clinical
exactly.
trials.
Yes, in the clinical trials, what happens? The data from where we get it? The data we collect it even from the machine generated. That is called a CT scan, ECG machines, etc., etc. Getting my point? And the fourth source of getting the big data is nothing but we have the IoT sensors. These are called as the data
Internet of
generate.
Things.
Yes, exactly. That is nothing but that is sensor. These are the sensors which generates the data, which is used for measuring what is that, the pressure, temperature, etc., etc. Okay, these are all the things which generates it. So for the next one, okay, so these are what is that, the sources of getting the big data. Okay, and that's it. These are the source. Anyways, we have a many more sources. If we keep on discussing, we will held up in these things. So let us see, these are the sources of getting the big data, and whatever the big data you get it, that big data is divided or classified into what is that, three categories: unstructured, semi-structured, and what is that, structured. And now guys, I forgot to tell you one more important point: the data which is generated by the banking applications. The data generated by what is that, banking applications, is also called as what, is also referred as the huge and bulky data. See, very bulky data is generated by the banking sector. The applications running on the bank, the applications running on the banking domain generates a very large amount of data. Hence, even this is called that this is considered as what, a major source of getting the big data. Getting my point? Major source of getting the big data. So now these are the some of the sources where we get the big data. Okay, and this data, what we get it, it can be into unstructured, structured, and what is that, semi-structured format. Now as a data engineer, guys, come back. As a data engineer, your job is to extract the data, whether it is in semi-structured format, structured format, or unstructured format. Convert that semi-structured or unstructured data to what is that, structured data, and load it into the target. That is your job as a data engineer. Data engineer means not only extraction, transformation, and loading. In extraction, you will have all these logics where you need to extract the data and convert to the data. Unstructured data, you will get it. You have to convert that unstructured data into proper structured, because suppose you have got the data into file, some JSON file, you got the data, guys, and this JSON file has to be written into the database table here. Database table. So JSON means what? JSON is a semi-structured, na? And database table means what? In a proper structure format, rows and column. Okay, rows and columns. Okay, into what's that? Proper rows and that is column format. Okay, so you have to load the data. So that means you have to convert the semi-structured data into what is that, structured format. So that you will have to do it as a data engineer. That is the actual logic of the data engineering job. And this job you can do it here by using the Azure Data Factory. And this Azure Data Factory is the service which we apply to transform the data, to extract the data, to load the data from on-premises to what is that, cloud environment. And even vice versa, from the cloud environment to on-premises also we can do that. That's also possible here. Okay, so now these are the things we have it now. So okay guys, this is nothing but the basic structure we have seen it. Okay, and in the next class, that will be on that is the Monday. Tomorrow you will not have the class. Monday you will have it at the same 7 p.m. you will have the class. Now then we'll start up with the practicals, and also we'll start with the rest of the balance things we have it. Okay. So any doubt if you have, you can just ask me.
Sir,
Everyone.
what are the requirement configurations of the system, sir, for the Azure Data
No
Factory?
configuration is required because it is a cloud connectivity. You don't require any configuration. Guys, to log in, I'll show you just a minute. To log in, just what you need to do here is go to what is that? This particular portal. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just type here portal or else I'll write it azure.com. Azure.com. No configuration is required, guys. A simple PC is enough. Whatever you have it, that's enough. You go to this. Once you have been here, can you see? Here you'll have try Azure for free and getting started. You can click anything and just clicking. I'm selecting the getting started. Now, guys, once you select on the getting started, click on the get started here again. Now you will have to provide your mail ID here, some mail ID, some of your mail ID, and then click on next. Immediately it will ask you the password. So that password also you have to enter it. And once you enter your password, okay, once you enter your it will ask you your credit card details. It will ask you your credit card details, and it will charge only 2 rupees. You can just click on the free account also. Directly click free account. If you click on the free account, can you see here? Pay as you go model or free. So you can start with the free model. Click on start free. Start with free. It will charge only 2 rupees. It will charge only 2 rupees. Okay, from your credit card, and then that will be valid for around 1 month, and sometimes it will also work for 45 days or 2 months. Also, it will work based on the usage you have it. So once you have done, so you will be drived back to this particular page. That page is called as, what is that? You will have portal.azure.com. This will be your actual page. Just a minute. I will open some other browser and show you once, because I have already this subscription. I have it. So I'll just show you. Are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just selecting this. Just a minute. Just a minute. It's redirecting. So this is your Azure environment that is called as portal.azure.com. Can you see here? This is my mail ID. So hence here can you see on this mail ID it is created. Now mine is a pay as you go model, but you can opt it for free. So this is your web page. So here only we'll do everything, guys. There is no configuration required. That is the reason. That is the beauty of the cloud technology. You have it. You need not worry and you need not do anything on this. Okay. So some installations is not required. The basic thing is enough for you. Okay. So
Sir, for transformation, have you going to touch Informatica also?
No, we will run the patches of Informatica.
Okay.
We'll run the already ready-made code of Informatica into ADF.
Okay.
That is the only job we do it in the real time, because as we are moving already from on-premises, okay, so that is the job we do it. Okay.
So whatever the tool which used through the Informatica, just like aggregator and sorter, and these things also covered or what?
Yes, of course. Those are called as transformations.
Yeah,
Aggregator transformations. You have it. A row that is a sorter row transformation.
Yeah.
You have many transformations that we will see it. Okay.
And how
So
much?
it will be like for different scenarios, different transformations will be used. Here also we'll be covering different scenarios.
Yes,
to
obviously.
cover different
We will
transformations.
see the case study. I will show you. We will see the case study like this. First of all, every classes wise, okay. Every classes wise, we'll just divide the case study. we'll start with the case study and just a minute. Let me open this. See, I'm just having this. I'm just can you see here? I'm writing it. Creating of a stored procedure. We'll discuss like this. We'll discuss all the things like this, one after the other. I'll explain you the things. Okay, this is the specifications, how we move on this. And then we write the code here. I'll write you the code. I'll paste this code on this, the drive, whatever that is. I'll just paste this code and send you across on the drive. Or else, anyways, you have the video recording now. You can prepare your own data. That's not a problem. So that is the process we follow it. Okay.
So, sir, it is complete Azure or just related with the ETL concepts?
It's complete Azure.
Okay.
Okay. In that, we are seeing the service called Azure Data Factory.
Okay. Sir, what is the difference between ETL and ELT?
ELT is that where we extracted, load it, then we go for the transformations based on the requirement. That is basically developed on artificial intelligence data, basically AI. I'll explain you once we get into the subject. Don't worry about that.
So apart from sir Informatica, we going to use some other tools also, just like Ab initio and other.
See, we are not going to see the Informatica. We are not going to see the Ab initio. We will run the patches of those in ADF. We are going to see only the ADF.
Sir, is Power BI included in that course?
No. Power BI, we will see the scenario, how to generate the reports in this, but Power BI is not covered. There's only ADF.
Okay. Sir, will you please brief about MSBI and other integration services by Microsoft? Is it different, or
that is different?
How it is different?
Basically, MSBI is purely okay. Mainly focusing on the reporting part and all those things. But he advanced on this. See, what happened is, based on the requirement, they're taking off a new product. Based on the requirement, they're taking off the new product. That is basically mainly focusing on the that is reporting part, Microsoft business intelligence, applying the that is nothing but the logic on the business data and generating the requisite output and all. Whereas here we don't use that, but we will have the synapse. We will see that reporting part into the synapse here.
Okay.
So all the things like transformations and other things. So here, like in Informatica, we have different transformations, and we'll make mappings, then sections and all the things. So here will we have certain things like that, or like it will be totally
the same scenarios. What we do is we extract it. Okay, then what will we write on transformations? We have various transformations. Then we load it. So we will see this every transformation one day. Every transformation. Okay. Suppose every transformation one day we'll see it. The transformation is called as mapping data flows. It is called here as mapping data flows.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
Hello. As per our discussion, Azure Data Factory is ETL, right? Not ELT.
Yes. ELT, I'll tell you now. That's what. Once we get into the subject, I'll tell you that ELT is a new technique. Now the corporates are adopting that ELT also.
Okay.
Most of the people, they don't know what is ELT also.
Sir, if I don't have a credit card, then what should I do, sir? For
you check with what you have to do means you check with Nazir, that is the admin with this Durga soft. I think they may help you out on this.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sameer, this is Rangi. I have one quick question. So, are you going to cover synapses in this code?
Of course, synapse. We'll see scenarios on synapse.
Okay, and one more question. So, don't mind. Like, we're going to cover all the aspects of ADF. Like, what are the course content is currently circulating in Amitbid. Are you going to cover all the aspects on same thing?
See, I don't know what is being circulated, but what is there in our website, that I'll all cover it.
Okay.
Sir, another one question: what
Yeah.
kind of job it offers? Because as per my knowledge, Azure is database side, cloud database, and we are using Informatica as ETL tool. So, what kind of job it offers? It is for a database only, cloud database, or it is offer in Informatica also, or
The
support?
designations, the designation wise, the job wise, you know, the things as you call it as a Azure data engineer. Okay. So in some company, they may call it as a data, that is data architect or data designer. Everything, you know, from company to company, project to project, the client to client, what you're working, the designations and all these things still vary. But wherever the involvement of data is there, a data engineer is mandatorily required.
Okay. And how much knowledge we required as like PLSQL or Oracle for Azure Data Factory?
Today's class you understood, na?
Yeah.
Likewise, I will take up all the classes. Don't worry about that. You don't require to learn the things separately. I will try to give you such an input. If it is better for, you know, more better understanding, I request you guys to just refer the SQL language. You will have a lot of things on this internet also. You can just check what is things you have. Yeah, tell me, what's this?
Yeah, but, tomorrow we have session that is 10. That is also same demo, or that is
No. Tomorrow we don't have any session. Directly we have it on Monday now.
I have seen some Saturday 10 o'clock.
It is already done today morning. It's done.
Okay. Tomorrow we don't have any.
Tomorrow no class. Sunday na. We'll not have a class. We'll directly have it on Monday.
And I have some confusion. You said that Azure Data Factory is ETL. Some I'm not getting it. It is ETL tool, right? ETL service, Azure Data Factory.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
But not ELT, not ELT.
ELT or the ETL is the logic what we apply.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Both logics are same. Both
yes,
we have.
Same. But ELT, what we do is mostly on the artificial intelligence, that is the data. If at all you want, you know, the data, some ML machine learning has to be applied. At that time, first of all, we load it, then we transform it based on the requirement. Yes, tell me.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
My question is regarding on-premise database technologies like Hadoop cluster or Spark like component. Do we require Hive or HBase type? Do we require any knowledge regarding to enter into the data engineering, cloud data engineering field?
See, what I can tell you on this is, the more knowledge you have, that much better job and best job you can get it, and that fast you can get the job. Having knowledge and understanding this particular subject is different. If you say that I want to acquire the knowledge, that is well and good. You acquire the maximum knowledge what you can do. But for learning this, whatever is required, that I will take care. That is the only thing I can tell you. If at all you want more knowledge, you try to acquire it. Nobody is stopping on that. Okay.
Okay, so it will be added advantage.
Obviously, no.
Yes.
So if I have 5 to 6 years some other field, so can it be like after this course I can put it as Azure data engineer on the same field?
Obviously.
It's into SQL. I have 5 years, so can I like include that Azure into 5 years?
While putting up the experience, don't forget that the licensing of this has come into existence in 2018. So prior to that, if you put up, I don't think that will work out for you.
2018, okay.
2018. After we got the first license, we are in company, we have opted it, and we are just taking it into 2019 January onwards. I'm working on this. That's what I told you. I have 3 years of experience on cloud engineering, what I studied yesterday.
Okay.
So try to put it up some valuable things and you know, some sensible things, so that you are not you know, you did not you can just have on the safe side. If you
Okay.
say that you are working on from 10 years on the cloud technology, they'll come to know, obviously. That's the thing. So you have to just work on based on the things. Yeah. Next one.
What are the certifications for Azure Data Factory? That means in Microsoft is offering. What is the code?
See, the Microsoft, for that, you can just check on the web page of this. You will have all the certifications levels. Okay. You have some different levels at different this thing. You can get certified on particularly on the Synapse also. Okay. And general engineer, data engineer certification you can have on a particular service wise you can have. The certification levels are differing from, levels to level. Yeah.
So, can I find them in Microsoft page you are saying, right? Sir?
I'll send you a link. You just follow that link. Okay. And
Yeah,
guys, we will create, I will create a, that is a WhatsApp group. Okay. I'll add you all in that WhatsApp group. If you have any chats, you can just tell me. I'll share you the link for all these things. Even for, some of the job requirement, I'll share you that link. You can just upload your CVs if it requires. See, I'm not telling you that I will get you a job. That is, don't be in that conception. If we have a requirement, I'll send you across. You can forward your CVs on that. If you get selected, then it's fine. If not, I can't help on that. Getting my point?
Sir, on this basis of class, can we give any basic level certification?
I will say as a trainer, you can write, many certifications, everything you can do it, I can tell you. Okay, because basically I'm a commercial trainer now. So that you have to decide it. Once you have to, learn the thing, see the things, you'll come to know up to what level you are going into the subject. Obviously, now everybody will say, yes, you can write the certification, everything, but you have to decide ultimately. You'll come to know.
Sameer,
Yeah.
is Azure Databricks same for ETL or purpose is different?
Same for ETL only, but the purpose is different. Something we just, we have a concept called Delta Lake is there. Some Delta Lake, because the Delta Lake is trending now. So that all Delta Lakes, we can just create it and we can access it in bricks also. That's more flexible in bricks rather than the factory.
For registration, sir, we use our debit card also, or only credit card required?
No, credit card is required. Credit card is required. Okay, so that you can check it with the management if they can help you out. Okay, for the people who don't have the credit card, they may help you out on that. You can just check with the management.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, any other questions?
So for every month, it will debit like according to the usage, it will debit or like how it will be debit.
For the first month, no, you have to give an authorization every time. Some OTP will be sent to your mobile phone, then only it will debit. Don't worry, it is not an auto debit like some other things you have.
Okay.
Yeah, next, anyone?
For I wonder, for every services like data factory, we have one certification. Synapse, we have one.
Your voice is cranking. Who is this? Your voice is cranking. Your voice is cranking. Your voice is not.
It's Naga.
Yeah, tell me, Naga. Your voice is cranking. It's not clear.
For every services like factory, we have one certification. We have one certification. We have one certification like that. Or for whole group, we have one certification.
No, the different level. No, the different level of certifications are given at the different levels. You have different level of certification, not a whole one for everything. Okay. That's it, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. We'll meet again on Monday, the same time, 7 p.m. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sameer.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so shall we start now?
Yes.
Yes, everyone is ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, are you providing the recording as well?
Yeah, recording is there. The session is being recorded and it will be shared with you. You can check with the Muskan.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, payment details, sir.
Payment details. Muskan, are you there? Muskan?
No, sir, Sagar.
Okay, just a minute. What is your name?
Sagar, sir.
Sagar. Just a minute, Sagar. Muskan, some Sagar wants to talk to you. Just log in there. I mean, just share your number with him. Okay? Sagar, just to check his number, you can contact. He will send you all details.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, just a minute, just a minute. Yeah, just a minute. You got the number, Sagar?
Yeah, sir.
You take this number, you contact Muskan. She will provide you everything, okay? Okay, guys. Some of you are into this. Please mute everyone. Yeah, mute everyone. This voice, all these things will be recorded. So this will be, the clarity will not be there even for you guys because this will be shared ultimately with you only. Okay. Sorry, guys. So let us start with now. I'll refresh it once and then we'll get into the practicals today. Okay. Azure Data Factory, guys. So as we all know that Azure Data Factory is basically a ETL based service provided. ETL based, what is it? Service provided by what? Microsoft. Provided by what? Microsoft.
Sir, it is similar to Informatica ETL, sir.
Yeah, but this is cloud and on-premises both. Informatica is only between the on-premises system. But we can run the patches of that. That's not a problem. If you already have written some code in the Informatica, that code you can run in this by running a patch. That is called as SSIS patch. I'll show you that how to run that patch is solved. Okay. So now that's at this point of time, let us not worry on this. Okay, guys. So now the next one is okay. So Azure Data Factory is basically a ETL based service provided by the Microsoft, and this is used for what? For performing the job of ETL. So ETL requires what, guys? Source. ETL requires what is that? Source. And it requires what is that? Target.
Target or
Yes,
destination.
Obviously, we require the two things, source and what is the target. So between the source and target, we apply what is that? ADF, which is called as what? Azure Data Factory. So what it does the job of what is that? Extraction. Okay, then it performs the job of what is that? Transformation. And then it performs ultimately the process of what? Loading. That is called as L. L stands for what? Loading, guys. So whereas when it comes to this extraction, transformation and loading between the source and the target, we can have the following sources here. Sources of what? Yes, guys, what is that? Sources of what? Data. See, here we are dealing with the data, guys. The sources of data. We can have the following source of data. So the following source of data. What is data? Tell me now. Data is nothing but what? Information, isn't it or not? Yes, everyone. Data is nothing but what? This is a information. Data is nothing but what? Information. Whereas we have, what is it? We can have the data, that is, we can have the data, and we can receive, or we can get the data from the following sources of data. What are the sources? The first and foremost source, obviously, we call it as what? Database, guys. Database. So database means what? The database is nothing but a place where information is recorded in which format here? Tabular format. That is in the form of what? Rows and columns, R and C, or that is rows and columns. Okay, that is called as what? A table, guys. That is called as what? A table. So whereas, and what type of databases you can have, guys? It can be, what is it? Oracle. You can have, what is it again? You can have, what is it? SQL Server. Okay, then we have, what is that? Teradata. And then we can have
DB2.
Yes, Informix. Yes, Informix, DB2. Exactly, Informix. And we can have, what is that? DB2, as somebody said. Okay, DB2. Okay, DB2. And
Sybase.
Exactly, very good. Sybase. Okay.
MySQL.
Yeah, MySQL. Okay.
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Sir, MongoDB it can perform here.
Pardon me?
MongoDB here. It can
Yeah,
perform.
MongoDB. Yes.
Yeah, Postgres can
talking
you
about
perform?
the Mongo wins this Apache one.
Postgres.
Yes, of course. Every type of database you can have, any kind of source, the immaterial of that you can get integrate with ADF. You need not worry about that. Every kind of data is supported here. You need not worry about that. Okay. So we can have the data in, what's that? Following sources. And next, apart from this, we can also have the data in, what is that? Files. So now tell me what type of files you have it. Guys, I told you in the last class, what are the files?
CSV files. Comma separated value file. CSV file.
Exactly. CSV, comma separated value file. Then we can have what? Excel files.
JSON.
XML files also.
Yes, somebody. JSON, XML file. Exactly. XML, there is extendable markup language. Then we can have, what is that? HTML, which stands for what? Hypertext markup language. And apart from this, what are the other files we can have? Anyone? Any idea?
Log files.
Log file will be text only, na? Most of the times.
Arc and Avro.
Yes, excellent. Who is it?
This is Ravi.
Ravi, yes, Ravi. Avro, Parquet. Okay. Parquet.
Data files.
Yes, exactly. These are all the data files. I'll tell you, this Parquet file is a very, very important thing. We have it. Anyways, I don't want to disturb you guys now on this. Okay. So these are all the type of files we can have. Apart from this, what is it? You have it. The first is what? These are all the data sources we can say. What is that? Source of data. Data means what? Information. We can get the data from the database. We can get the data from the files. Okay. And then apart from this, what are the other things we can have the data? Yes.
ORC file format.
No, files you leave it. What are the
Sir,
other sources?
video and audio.
Video and audio, that is nothing but we can say, okay, video and audio is also a type of file only, na? Video file we call it as, audio file we call it. So that is also, it has some extension, and this is stored as a file. So all those comes under the files. So the databases, files, and apart from this, what are the other things we have can have?
Data from machines.
Exactly. Yeah, yes. Data from, what is it? Machines, or we can say social networking sites, okay, etc. Okay, so these are all the sources of data we can say. We can get the data. So what we do in the job or during the time of performing the process called extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. We extract the data from the source. And we transform as per the requirement. What is the transformation? Transformation is the actual process of data summarization, guys. Transformation is the actual process of, what is that? Data summarization. So whereas the transformation we perform it, and once the transformation is performed, we perform, what is that? Loading. That means final data we will load it. And now, guys, based on what is the criteria on which we perform the transformation on the data? The transformations are always performed. Make sure, all of you, The transformations are always performed based on the requirement of the end user. Transformations are always performed based on the requirement of the end user. End user means what? Who is the end user? Ultimately, the person who is using it. Suppose now, guys, we all are using the mobile phones. We are called as what? End users. But as per the requirement of the user only, the manufacturer manufactures the product, isn't it or not? The same way here also, as per the requirement of the user only, we have to perform the job of extraction, transformation, and loading. And we all are referred as called as what? Data engineers. We all called as what? A person who provides the data. A person who provides the data to the analyst. A person who provides the data to the analyst. That means analyst will receive the data from where? From the target. Further from the target, the data will be loaded. Further from the target, the data will be loaded. So that is that is data will be picked up by the that is something called as what? The user. So here we have, what is that? Analyst, or we can also have, what is that? Data scientist. So based on the requirement of the data scientist. So data scientist requires the data for performing some prediction. Analyst requires the data for what? Performing some kind of, what is that? Operations. So here we can have, what is that? All this. So as per their requirement, the data engineer will collect the data and transform the data and ultimately load the data into the target. Okay, guys. So am I clear, everyone? I want a reply from you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. So now, guys, so only 4 or 5 people is responding out of 60 participants, whatever we have it. Yes, guys, I want a reply from every one of you. You want to really?
Yes, sir.
You should reply. You want?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Now today we are using mainly JSON files only, no? Yes.
No, we use the JSON files. We use the Parquet files.
Okay.
We use the Avro files also. We have many types. Parquet is the most important, because Parquet is the file based on which we develop the delta format. delta lake, not the data lake. Delta lake is a very good concept right now. It's booming in the market. Anyways, we'll see this. Okay, don't worry. So now, guys, this is the thing we have it. That's it. Now, apart from this, now let us start with the subject here. Now, guys, as we have already discussed, we get the data from which sources, etc., etc. I think again I do not go on to this. Now today we'll start. Data we can have
Integer type. Three types, sir. Structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data.
Exactly. Structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. So semi-structured. Structured means what?
Means complete data.
Structured. And what is that? Semi-structured.
Complete data.
Half-structured data.
Unstructured data.
I'm just brushing. Yes, I'm just brushing up all the things before.
Rows and columns.
Yes, exactly. So semi-structured. And the third one is called as what?
Unstructured data.
Unstructured data. Okay, guys. So sorry. So structured data means what? The data which is stored in the form of what? Table. That is in the form of, what is that? Table. That is called as what? Table. That is in the form of rows and exactly columns.
RDBMS.
Yes, exactly. See, RDBMS. The data which is stored, see, not only in the form of rows and columns or RDBMS, even the data stored in the CSV format, it is the form of rows and columns. So that is also called as what? Structured data. The data stored in an Excel file, that is also structured data only. Okay, so semi-structured means what? Data stored in the, yes, guys, data stored in what?
XML.
Exactly. JSON file, XML file, and then we have, what's it? HTML file, and then we can have, what is that? Even the Parquet file. Okay, Parquet file, and even can have Avro file, etc. These are called as what? Semi-structured formats. Actually, they does not has the proper structure and human readable structure. Okay, but these files can carry a very large amount of data with a very little space. That is the advantage and that is the use of it, guys. Okay. Anyways, we will discuss each one of the file once we get into the subject. And unstructured means what? The data which does not have any structure. Your photographs, videos, etc. etc. Exactly. All these are called as what? Unstructured. That's it. And that is called as what? Unstructured file. That is the data.
So log files.
Yeah, log files basically we can have it, but log will also have there is some extension. Most of the files, most of the time, the log files stores okay, basically in the that is in the some kind of JSON, sometimes in the JSON format, and sometimes even in the text format. So actually we don't consider the log file as basically an unstructured data. Okay, so most of the times we consider
ORC
that,
files.
pardon me. Yeah, ORC files.
ORC.
Yes, of course, ORC. ORC file is basically yeah. It comes under the semi-structured.
Semi-structured or
yes, no, semi-structured. ORC is in the semi-structured. See, ORC, Parquet, Avro, XML, JSON. These are all comes under what is that? Semi-structured only, guys. Okay, so these are the three type of data we can have now, guys. So as now I'm just getting into the subject now. If you have any doubt in this, just go through once for a second, all of you. If you have any doubt, just immediately ask me the question. I'll tell you any question, no issues, because I want before we move ahead, I want everyone to just go through it once. Yeah, any doubts?
Sir, exactly on premises matlab, what is the meaning, sir? Exactly on premises matlab source.
Nothing but physical server.
Just a minute. Just who asked me this question? Ramakrishna. See, basically on premises and on clouds. I'll give you a very simple example. You're using mobile phone, na?
Yes.
You're using mobile phones. What type of memories you have in your mobile phone?
Lot of memories.
No, I mean to say you're storing the data in mobile memory as well as on the your Google Drive, isn't it or not?
Yes.
Absolutely. Your Google Drive data is called as cloud data.
Yes.
And your mobile phone data is called as what? On premises.
That is source.
Exactly. See, don't mistake here. Source can also be cloud. Source can also be cloud, and target can also be cloud. Don't that is mistake that only source can be on premises. Getting my point?
Yes.
It can vice versa. It can have anything. You can have on premises here also.
Okay.
On prem you can also here also we can have it. There is no compulsion. There is no hard and fast rules here. We can have on premises here also.
Okay.
Getting my point? So
yes.
Don't worry about that. You have to consider that on premises or cloud, the data is there or not. But ADF basically supports all the type of things, whether it is on premises or clouds or whatever it may be.
Okay. Suppose in the data is in cloud, so we have to retrieve the data into our on local mobile. At that time also we call it the on premises my mobile only, na?
On premises generally what is happening is nowadays the reverse process is being taken place. That is, we are moving from on premises to cloud.
Yes.
But cloud to on premises in very rare cases, or for 1 or 2 reports generation or some 1 or 2 formats. Suppose you require to attach some data, we just import that type of thing. Generally we don't perform it.
Okay.
So anyways, that's okay. I can just once. Yeah, go ahead. Who is this? Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can we perform ELT or only ETL action?
ELT also you can perform it. ELT also you can perform it. ELT we can perform it. based on the the ELT concept is developed to make a the ELT concept is basically developed and it got into existence because of the artificial intelligence. ELT, okay, artificial intelligence and machine learning machine learning we have it, ML. Okay. So anyways, I don't want to just confuse you guys with all those things. I'll tell you step by step. Okay, so any doubt till here, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No doubts.
Okay.
No, sir.
Everyone?
No.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
no, sir.
No, sir.
Right. Let's move further now. Now here, what is it we required? As you know that for the process of ETL, we require the source and what is that? Target. Source and what is that? Target. Now, the source and target requires some mode of transport. See, if you want to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore, do you require a mode of transport or not? You can go by walk.
It's a mode of transport, sir, by using like
Yes.
car, bus, train.
Yes, exactly. We require a mode of transportation. It is mandatory. So what you'll do is either you'll book a you'll hire a 4-wheeler, or you'll hire a bus, you'll hire a train, flight, whatever it may be, you have it. More means of transport or mode of transport is very, very important for you to travel. Now here also, guys, the source will have the data, isn't it or not? The source will have the data, and data has to be transported from the source to what is that, guys? Target. The data has to be transported from source to what is that? Target. Yes, exactly. We are using that is service called ADF, but ADF, what it does, for that it requires a what is that thing called what? Pipeline. That is called as what? Pipeline. Pipeline means what? That is called as data pipeline. We call it as what? Data pipeline. We require a data pipeline. So whereas to carry the data from the source to the target, guys, just concentrate here. To carry the data from the source to the target, the ADF requires what? The ADF requires a data pipeline to be designed. The ADF requires what is that? A data pipeline to be designed to carry the data from the source to what is that? Target. So what is pipeline? Pipeline is nothing but it decides the, or it monitors the, or it decides the orchestration of data from the source to the target. That is nothing but how the data should be transported from the source to the target. It is decided by the pipeline. It is decided by what is that? Pipeline. So hence it is called as what? Data pipeline. Hence it is called as, guys, what? Data pipeline. It is called as what? Data pipeline. So pipeline is a component of ADF, guys. Pipeline is a component of ADF, that is Azure Data Factory. First component we are discussing. So the ADF is a component of ADF. That pipeline is a component of ADF which is used to carry the data from the source to the target. For example, I'm giving you example, guys. Every one of us is staying in some apartment or individual house, whatever it may be. But right now, we are habituated of getting the water directly in our wash areas. Whether it can be the bathroom or kitchen or sink, whatever it may be. We are habituated of getting, we are habituated of running water. Isn't it or not? Everyone, we just, whenever you want to use the wash area, simply we switch on the tap and we should get the water. That is our, right now the thing, that is something, but we expect like that. Isn't it or not? Yes, guys? Yeah. Do you expect the water? Do you expect the running water in your tab or not in the wash area?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So whereas ultimately, now tell me, water is what? Water is a necessity of human being to live for survival. Yes. So just Dilip, Nune, just mute yourself. Okay, so now the next one is, so now guys, you are getting the water. From where we get the water? So water is nothing but either you can get it from the ground, that is from the borewell
From
water.
tap.
Yeah, yeah. Ultimately,
Or well.
Yeah, well, or you know, the borewell
River.
water. Exactly. The next one is what? The municipal water, which you get it from the that is nothing but the river water, what we consume it or what we drink it. Okay. So whereas guys, ultimately from the river till your home or till your residence or till your that is a tap, how the water reaches? The water reaches through a pipeline only, isn't it or not? Pipeline is the source which carries the water from the source of water till the requirement. That means nothing but to get the water into your tap, the tap should be connected with a pipeline, and pipeline is ultimately the source of extracting the water either from the ground or from the river, whatever it may be, isn't it or not? So we can say what? Pipeline is the source of getting the water. In the same way here also guys, pipeline is the source of getting the data in ADF. Pipeline is what? Pipeline is a source of getting the data
Getting the water.
Yes, exactly. Pipeline is a source of getting the data, okay, in ADF from the source to the target, which is used to carry the data. Now guys, let us start with this. I'm just writing components of ADF. Components of ADF. Azure Data Factory. So first of all, we should understand what is the components of ADF. So whereas in order to transport the data from the source to the target, the ADF requires the following components. The first and foremost component is called as what? Pipeline, which is also called as what? Data pipeline. Which is also called as what? Data pipeline. And the second one is called as what? Yes, guys. The first one is the data pipeline, and the second one is called as the data sets. Data sets or data sets we can say. And the third one is called as what? Linked service. And the fourth one is called as that is called as mapping data flows. Mapping data flows. And the fifth one, that is pipeline, data set, linked service, mapping data flows. And the fifth one is what is that? You have it. Okay.
Activities.
Yes, activities. Activity. Okay. And apart from the activity, okay.
Maybe storage account.
No, storage accounts, that is for storage of data. Okay. So we have what's that? Pipeline, data set, linked service, mapping data flows, activities, and then we have the triggers. And the next one is what is it? You have it? Integration runtime. Integration runtime, which we also call it as what? IRs. Guys, we call it as what? IR, integration runtime. So these are some of the components. Which is mandatorily required for designing a pipeline. As a ADF engineer or as a data engineer, we all are responsible for designing a data pipeline. We all are responsible for what? For designing a data pipeline. And the data pipeline, okay, and the data pipeline consisting of what is that? the following components. Without these components, you cannot design a data pipeline. So to design a data pipeline, we require what is that? The following components, which is very mandatory. Yes, guys. So first and foremost is what is that? Pipeline. So what is the pipeline? I already explained you what is a pipeline. Pipeline is nothing but it is a source which carries the data from the there is nothing but pipeline is the component of ADF which carries the data from the source to the target, and as it carries the data, it is called as what? Data pipeline. It is called as what? Data pipeline. So we can say that the pipeline is nothing but it decides, guys, technical abbreviation I can tell you, pipeline is nothing but it decides the orchestration of data. It decides what is that? The orchestration of data from the source to the target. So now, guys, what is this word called orchestration? Can anyone tell me?
Sir, automation.
Okay, automation. Yeah. Any other this thing?
Orchestration means planning in a certain manner. Planning in a certain required manner, means
exactly.
As per the requirement.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Yeah. Any other? Yes, guys, we have 60 participants.
Scheduling automation.
Okay.
Enhancement.
Okay, very good.
To compose.
Yes, who is this?
To compose.
Yes, who is this?
Narasimha.
Yes, Narasimha. Okay, compose. Very good, this thing. Okay, guys, I'm not talking about this, the orchestration related to the pipeline. Just generally, I'm asking you the word called orchestration. Orchestration is nothing but, okay, it is the flow, how it should flow. So, guys, we all right now, even nowadays, we all are, very used to watching the reality shows. Suppose you have this reality show called Indian Idol, or even we have what is that Kapil Sharma show is there. Okay,
Big Boss.
Yes, Big Boss, not
Dance,
Big Boss.
India Dance.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so we have this Kapil Sharma show, I think. Okay, so now, guys, what happens? There you have some judges sitting, and some that is contestant will perform there in Indian Idol. They will come and they will sing, and whereas parallelly during the time they sing, what happens here? Parallelly, the musical team which is standing somewhere at the corner, they'll be playing the music. And one person there who will be standing there, who will be shaking his hands upwards, down